continues back with another podcast day, everyone's favorite holiday. And we're joined by our lovely co-host, Joe Dirt. And today is a special guest episode with Blowfish Man TV, also known as Ollie.
Thanks. Thanks so much. Yeah. Wow. Quite the intro there for me.
You gotta make it
Give
special.
him a hard time.
Dude, he fucking shits on my intros every time.
No. I mean that in the best way possible. My bad.
My intros are amazing.
I know. I just like giving you a hard time about those.
Okay.
Okay. You may take it away with your question.
Sure. Yeah. No. As I was saying earlier, I'm guessing you guys are gonna edit that out. For all those that weren't here earlier, I was just asking them my questions, even though they didn't do the intro.
It's all
But
good.
anyway, yeah. Before I jumped onto this, one, I'm super excited again. Thank you, both you, Joe and Scott, for having me on. Really big honor, seriously speaking. Two, yeah, I've had experience being on podcasts as a guest, as well as running one for a little over a year. I'm curious, what are you guys about? Because I remember Scott's you got any questions? Yeah, shoot them at us. I was like, yeah, sure. I guess my first question to both of you is what are you guys all about for the podcast?
Joe, if you want to do your answer first, and then I can do mine.
Yeah.
Take your time.
It's pretty much just two guys talking, and then every once in a while we'll have somebody come on. There's not a direct it's one specific thing. It's kind of whatever we feel like. Kind of half the time our podcast, we will have an idea. We never finish that idea. It always gets. It's like driving your car onto a train track, but then the train track jumps off the track into off a cliff, and then it just explodes. That's what our podcast is.
That sounds like an amazing podcast. Wow, thank you so much for having me on here. Can I help you guys explode said car?
Yeah. We explode shit every day.
Love to hear that. Love to hear that.
I mean, I totally agree with what he says on that. This is basically off the rails, whatever comes flying at us. That's why I give you a heads up, for our guests. I'm like, hey, there is no structure to this. Do whatever you want. But
yeah. Oh God.
And it's just it was basically just an idea because we met in college. So
Cool.
we kind of just we bonded very well, and we're like, fuck, you want to run a podcast? And then he said yes, so here we are.
Now we're married.
Honestly, that's the best way to run a to form a podcast, because as I was saying earlier, when it came to me running my old podcast, man, I was running that podcast with two dudes from the UK who literally randomly found me through a mutual viewer of ours during the pandemic.
Damn.
That was a lot of fun, honestly. Those guys are doing well. We honestly decided to split because we're like, yo, let's just do our own thing, but we're all good, right? We're like, yeah, all right, sick, right? So now we're all still friends, but yeah, which is good, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. Podcasting is it's a weird, different form of content because we both play games and everyone plays games, and then it's all of a sudden whiplash when you're not playing a game on stream and stuff.
Oh my God, the fucking worst feeling ever, right? It's hey, I've played this game a million times before. You go to a level you've probably played 5, 10, maybe 100 times, depending on how much you love the game. And your brain just doesn't work when you're on stream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Off stream, you get it so fast, and I'm like, why couldn't I do this on stream? You know?
It's exactly.
In come the memes, and you're like, oh God damn it.
Everyone hates it. Oh God.
No, but I feel that's the best kind of content. Just something that's so natural, but also not, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You sure, maybe you're a speedrunner, that those are probably one of the few exceptions. It's you know this game the back of your hand, but for some reason you're playing it it's the very first time you've played it. You know what I mean? And it's a whole other natural sort of organic reaction to that. And I love that kind of content, right? It happens to me. I'm sure it happened to Scott. Joe, I'm not sure if you stream, if you don't mind me asking,
No,
but
I
I'm sure.
don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay, gotcha. But yeah, me and Scott, we know that feeling. You know, Scott's out here playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I don't wait. Have you actually played the original, Scott? Out of curiosity,
I have not.
Okay.
I've only played the remake, which we finished not too long ago.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, but anyway, but yeah, it's so funny because like I have a bunch of friends who loved like the original,
Mhm.
and then when they play the remake, they're like, oh, I remember this from the original, this, and that, and then like they forget like one thing, and you're like, oh god, and then they ends up like they end up paying dearly for it somehow, and I just laugh. I'm like, oh my god. Oh jeez. But
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say stuff like that. It's like very fun because like when I hit the go live button, like my brain shuts off from like
Yeah.
normal Scott, and then it's like entertainment time, and it's like sometimes I can't just keep going. Like I can play a game for like 6 8 hours straight on my own, but as soon as like go live, it's like fuck, dude, 2 hours is draining.
No, right? I get that feeling, but for some reason, like every time I jump on to streams and what have you, or like do my own stream, like I don't know, like depending on who I'm vibing with and talking to or playing with, like it flies by so fast, right?
Oh
But
my
I'm sure
god,
like
yeah.
yeah, right? The funniest thing is that what I love about just streaming in general is just like sometimes I'm sure Scott has overheard me say the most outlandish shit without even realizing in the most casual way possible. And like people are
Yup.
like, oh yeah, you said this. I'm like, I did? And like, yeah, I was like, when did I say that? And like someone actually clipped it and I'm like, I actually said that. Wow. And I just start laughing. It's like, that whole thing when you're a kid, your parents always bring up like embarrassing memories of you when you're like 3 or 4. And it's like, basically you're really drunk at a party and you just don't remember half the shit you say. It's kind of like that feeling, you know what I mean?
Oh, I know exactly what that means. Oh my god.
Until someone brings up the clip, I'm like, oh, I really did. Wow, wow, that's what I mean. And I end up just laughing at it, and then like make like a best of by the end of the year. It's like, okay, this is actually really funny, you
Oh
know?
yeah, dude. Oh, making best ofs is really fun.
It is so fun, like with the amount of editing you can do. Oh, but yeah, speaking of Scott, like, or even you, Joe, like, what is actually, um, the most either funniest or even messed up thing you have said on stream, if you can remember, or like
Oh,
just in general? I'm curious.
oh god. Uh,
I've said
If you
some
can remember.
pretty messed up stuff.
I mainly see you going after Pluto.
well, that's because Pluto's a 4'2" Chihuahua. You
I
know.
know.
Uh,
I agree.
I Joe, maybe you should do yours first because I need to think about this.
No worries. You're good. You're good.
Oh my god.
I mean, because I don't stream and like I don't
That's okay.
really have a big like presence online. Oh gosh.
Like even IRL is fine too.
Oh gosh. I
I just thought of Joe's, but like,
Oh, you know,
was gonna say like
God.
Mr. Here has heard some of the things I've said outside.
oh my god, dude.
Oh God, I can
that-
only imagine. What did he say?
oh,
Oh
dude.
gosh.
I'm thinking of the field camp one. I don't know if you wanted to
Oh.
bring that one up.
So are we talking about when we were giving relationship advice?
Oh
No,
no. Oh
to
God, I want to hear this.
you can do that one too, but the one that I was specifically talking about is like the shotgun one to the guy named
Oh, that's what I
Brian.
was talking about.
Okay, yeah. Go
Oh,
for it, go
God.
for it.
Uh,
I
so
want to hear this.
we were like out at camp. I think it was towards the end of field camp, and we were giving Scott relationship advice. And this one guy came up and he was starting to give it, and like I had to go do field chores, and I was just like, Scott, don't listen to him. He can never keep a girl, and just walk past him.
Damn.
It's so
and just-
fucked.
Damn.
And it felt so bad.
Damn. That was rude.
And
You
that's
just-
that's not even like the worst thing. Yeah, it was more of a like
You like dropped that so casually. You destroyed
yeah,
that,
and
man.
just walked through the door and just went to do my field camp chores.
It was so fucked.
There was
Oh
like
God.
yeah, just randomly like I will say yesterday I was having a conversation with another uh it was Sky, it was one of your people that helped you on your research
Mm-hmm.
that I work with.
Research. Oh right, because yeah, Scott mentioned you have you're in geology, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, keep
And,
going.
and anyways, I was talking, we were just talking about stuff, and I just told her like about like what my old supervisor used to tell me at work when I was like from like 18 to 21.
Okay.
And she would always tell me to wrap it before you tap it and never stick your dick in crazy.
Hey, the second one, Absolutely correct. Oh lord. Absolutely fucking correct. Oh my god. I like Scott, I gave you like bits and pieces about like especially about the second one. Where like, I
Yeah.
got together with like my current girlfriend, right? And like before her, I honestly had like rose-colored glasses for this girl. But then like, the moment that you notice like something really messed up that they do or something that like basically just shatter, like I'm sure you
Yeah.
guys know about the How I Met Your Mother theme, like the
Yep.
glass shattering.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
that same person ended up like doing that for me literally a day before I actually met up with her in person.
Oh gosh.
Like there was a moment that she said something and I'm like, "Oh my god. What?" And then I'm like, then I just saw like everything, you know what I mean?
Oh my
Mhm.
I
god.
know this is literally like a day before I was going to meet this person. And like wow, what a day that was. Definitely didn't do it because I feel like if I did, I had a lot of chances. I will say that I had a ton, but if I did, I feel like I would have regretted it so hard because some of the shit that she was saying to me, I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dodging
And
some
like,
bullets.
my current girlfriend's like, she was one of my best friends at the time, and she was just like, hey, like, she was not cool with her and what have
Yeah.
you, right? Part of that was because she never realized that, like, she felt that way about me. She's like, why am I stopping this guy? Like, why does this matter like so much to me? This, and that. And I'm like, oh fuck. Like have you ever had like one of those moments where you're like, damn, I like this person. Why am I doing this for them without like even realizing it? I'm
Yeah.
kind of glad that she's, sort of stuck her neck out in that sense because I'm like, I would have never have noticed it until she like she pointed out. And I'm like after that whole day, like I messaged her, I'm like, hey, so you were right. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, that bitch is crazy. That's literally me. And I told her like everything that happened. She's like, oh my god. I'm like, and she's like, yeah, I thought I was fucking crazy. What the hell? That's literally what she said to me, and I
With the
died.
crazy out crazy's the crazy.
Right?
Mhm.
I was like, she's a good amount of crazy, but I fucking love her for it.
Yeah.
Like honestly speaking. But yeah, like, have you two ever had like that sort of moment if you're like cool talking about it, where it's like, shit, I like this person, and I didn't even realize it till now. Like
Um
any of it. If you're cool with talking about it, of course.
yeah. I
Yeah.
like okay. I've been in some like some shitty relationships,
Oh shit.
and it's just like I've never had that feeling like the love at first sight thing.
Mm.
Like I've never had that. And that's not, it's kind of what you're getting at, but also kind of not.
Yeah.
But it's like
Okay.
I've never had those like feelings where it's like, oh fuck, that's the one. Mainly
Mm.
because I'm a bitch and I won't talk to anyone. But
Oh God. Oh
uh
no. Anyway, keep going.
uh but no, I've never had that because it's like I just don't really talk to people, and I don't give out my emotions, I guess, all that well to like the people I actually like.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it's
Okay.
so it's like a lot of my opportunities go past, and then when I have a relationship, it usually ends relatively bad.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. That fucking sucks, dude.
But
Oh.
I will say that, since this has been brought up, I think it's been enough time since my last relationship that I might be ready to open up to like an actual new relationship.
Hey. Yeah.
The
How you gonna do
problem, yeah, the problem is I don't know anyone.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm right here, dude.
I know, sorry.
I'm ready for
I
you
was
to open
gonna
up to me.
say. Yeah, you got Joe over here. What the heck? If I wasn't dating my girlfriend, I'd be like, yeah, I'm right
Yeah,
here, bro.
yeah. Well, let's get into Joe's relationship and why that's not possible for me.
Oh.
Oh, I mean, just like my me and my girlfriend are just we're doing fine. Like,
It's good.
yeah, I don't think I've ever had that situation where I had somebody like stick out for me. I was more picky about who I like went out and dated because I had a lot of friends that just they were in relationships because they didn't want to be alone.
It was like the in thing. I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
And I'm like, okay. And then I actually like would like I had people like kind of like chase after me, but I would pretty much like, no, I don't want to because either I knew we just wouldn't fit. We would probably date for like 3 months and then it would just be done
Yeah, that's fair.
because just of how I am and I know how they are situations and like I don't want to. I'd rather be friends with you and keep that relationship strong than like actually just date you because I don't want to be lonely. And I was like, that's a better situation. Like there's this one girl, we worked together for so long, like I kind of like taught her everything at the position that she was, and then like she moved up and then we were like equals. But
Gotcha.
I watched her like her best friend in high school and they would just hang out and I'm like, dude, they need to get together. And I remember her sister asking me, do I like her? And I'm like, yeah, as a friend, but I think this other guy should ask her out. And then I went to one of my other friends' weddings and they started dating and they've been together ever since. And I'm like, dude,
Fucking
if
called
I
it.
would have dated her, that whole relationship would have never happened or it wouldn't have been as good. Like, that was the whole thing. I'm watching her being a successful person. And if I got in there, that would have been the worst thing that could have happened. Not because I'm a terrible guy. It's literally just because I knew that relationship was going to be more successful than whatever we could have been.
That's some
Yeah.
crazy foresight.
No, seriously, that's yeah. You must know yourself like really well, and also know her very well too. So that's awesome, man. And like you know, the fact that you're able to be happy for her is even better, right?
And
That's
then I
like,
was also like an asshole to other girls. Like I remember this one girl,
oh my
she
god.
came up to me and she was like, "Yeah, like I have like handcuffs and like whips in the back of my car." I'm like,
Whoa.
"Oh,
Okay.
so is that why your last relationship didn't work? You couldn't give a too good of a blowjob and a little scrape
Damn.
like here or there." she just turned 18 and was a little too
Oh.
like promiscuous. I'm like,
Oh.
I'm not getting
Okay.
there, dude. Like, and
You
then
know
she was
what's
also
fair.
like, I want like 7 kids right off the bat.
That's a
I want
lot
to
of
get married
kids.
early. I'm like,
Wait. You were seeing or like dating this person?
no. I worked
Okay.
with her. I was like, I'm
Okay.
not sticking
Okay.
my dick in crazy there.
No. Yeah, I
I, I,
agree.
I, I know where this.
Yeah. No, I
I was
get
like,
that.
oh
Jesus
no.
Christ.
Like, so back to the whole crazy situation. Like, one I will disclose like one of the things that that person that I mentioned said to me was literally just um like you know the classic meme of the crazy girlfriend with like the wide eyes and the
Yeah.
smile.
Yeah,
Mhm.
She was literally giving me that look. Like, I kid you
that's
not, there was
insane.
no exaggeration. And here's that reels. I'm like, okay, I'm so glad I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Gave me that look, and she literally said, I can see myself living with you, and I just met this girl.
Ugh,
Yup.
that's
So I
rough.
was like, okay. That was like me in my head. I'm like, okay.
Hey man,
At
that's
least
what I say to people too.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Dude, it's not as bad as like having a girl that would make a Sims house with you
Sims
and
house.
the
Okay. Wow.
girl, and
Oh.
then like actually live like a whole fantasy life with kids and dogs and like name them.
That's insane.
Oh god. Okay.
It's
Do you know?
crazy.
I was gonna say, I think my crazy is a lot more tame than your two guys' crazy.
Them sim girls, bro. They be crazy.
No, people
Oh
are
yeah.
serious about The Sims, man. Like,
I
there's just so many
know.
people. There's just so many people I've like met on here. Like, The Sims isn't really my kind of game, and power to the people who can like invest
Mhm.
time to like
Oh my
do
god.
shit like that. But like, yo, they're a serious community, and like, it
Oh yeah.
honestly like fascinates me like what people can make in The Sims, and it's wild. It's wild.
Dude,
to
I've
me.
been telling Scott to get into the
I'm
Sims right
not gonna
away.
play The Sims, dude.
Do you like The Sims, Joe?
No.
Oh, okay. I was
Dude.
just like, it made it sound like you're about to like say like, yo, I fucking love The Sims, man. And I'm
No,
like,
the
"Oh, okay."
last my favorite game out of the Sims series was the one where you can like I think it was Sims 2 on like the DS where you're running like a oh gosh, a casino or
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
That sounds pretty
So
lit.
it's like a really old game.
How old are we talking? I'm curious now. I was like, that sounds kind
Oh
of fun,
gosh.
actually.
Oh, I don't even know like how old that.
Are we thinking like 90s or like 2000s old?
We're
2010s
thinking like
old?
2000. Bush was still around.
Oh god, yeah, that's 2000s old, bro. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Bro's old.
It's kind of funny. Like, the funniest thing was that one of my best buddies loved this guy to death. The funniest thing that he said to me to describe his age to someone that he dated or not dated. Sorry, he was like seeing someone, right? And like he actually made her laugh with this joke. Is like, yo, kudos to you for like putting it out there. Like I was like, yo, I would not have the guts to have said that and like laugh it off, you know? It was kind of like a sort of self-deprecating joke, but also not really, you know, one of those jokes.
Oh, we love those.
And like he said something along the lines of oh, it was literally the last time I dated someone before you, Obama was still in office. And this is like 2021 and she's like, "Oh." I was literally her, but she ended up laughing at that cuz she found it really funny.
I would, dude, I would laugh at that too, dude.
Yeah, because like that, and then like I brought it up to my friends because like there's like a bunch of people I know on Twitch that are like a little older than me or like significantly older than me, and like they would say stuff like, "Yo, like when was I born?" When like Ronald Reagan was still president, bro. I'm just like, oh my god, that sounds worse than just saying the year. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
And also sounds funny. No, like that just sounds so funny. I was like, well, I don't know if I'm that old, bro. I'm born in 1994. Like, there's a lot of shit that happened in the 90s. Love the 90s, but you know, I wouldn't even know like what to say. It's like 1994. What was significant that happened in 1994? It's like I'm trying to think. I'm like, you know, I'm gonna search the. I have a computer right here. What am I doing? Significant events of 1994. Let's see this. Significant events of of 1994. Let's see here. Oh my. Okay. Okay, that the first thing killed me. It's like, yo, you all know how old I am? When the Winter Olympics in Norway was still happening. I'm like, that was in 1994. I'm like, oh god,
The Norway.
the Norway Olympics.
Norway.
Yeah, it's like 1994, the Winter Olympics in like I can't insert Norwegian country name here, comma Norway. I'm like, oh wow, okay, I'll use that next time. How old are you?
I've done a similar joke to that standard,
well,
but it was a really fucked up one. I don't remember who I was telling it. It might have been Joe, but it was like
Okay.
it was along the lines of, yeah, I was alive for the Twin Towers to fall.
Hey, same bro, high five.
But it
Oh
was-
my god, so this is also gonna sound really fucked up, but when that actually happened, I was like what, grade 1, grade 2? No, you know what, grade 2, grade 3, somewhere around there, right? And so you know, you mentioned like, oh yeah, the Twin Towers fell. Obviously, like a very, very
Yeah.
sad time in American history, really messed up time too. And I remember I was a kid and I heard about it on the news, right? And you know when you're a kid and you don't fully understand things,
Mhm.
and you so the moment I heard, hey, the Twin Towers fell, you know, and all the other news and what have you, and around that time, Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers came out. So I thought, wait, why did the Two Towers fall in Lord of the Rings? The moment I heard that, that's what I asked. And like my parents gave me the look. They're like, no, they're not talking about the movie. It's like, what do you mean? But there's like two towers in that movie, so they fell, right? Like I was asking my mom and dad that, and I was like being genuinely serious. Like, why are they talking about it on the news? It's a movie. Like it's fake. Like
It's
like why are people sad about it? Like I genuinely didn't know, so they didn't tell me. And then like looking back at it as a teen, I was like, wow, I said something really fucked up and I didn't even mean to. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's excusable for a kid though.
Yeah, I was like 8. I didn't understand because like Lord of the Rings: Two Towers came out at the same time. I was like, oh, are like two towers? They're twins. They fall. You know, that's
Yeah.
where my brain went as a kid. You know,
Makes sense to me.
make it right. I was like, it was just so funny though, because like my parents like we can't tell them what really happened. I'm like,
He's
thanks,
too
Mom and
innocent.
Dad, I
He's
guess.
too innocent.
Like actually, like I was just like I wasn't really into Lord of the Rings. It's just like my brain just went there just because it was being advertised everywhere at the same time, right? So
This is a crazy advertisement.
yeah, no, like they went in on that shit. I'm like, I didn't really watch Lord of the Rings, and it's funny because like I play with a group of like huge Lord of the Rings fans, right? When it
Mhm.
comes to D&D, and it was so funny. Like they make a huge reference to the very first movie, and I'm gonna be honest, I never watched the first movie, right? So I'm
I
just
would
sitting there.
suggest you watching it. It's amazing.
I've
Pretty
heard
good.
it was really good. Like
Yeah.
honestly, it's like what, 3 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like kind of like a Star Wars movie. But anyway, like you know, I'm just sitting there like, guys, what's that a reference to? And they all laughed, and I'm like, no, seriously, what's that a reference to? They're like, wait, you're a D&D nerd? Have you never really watched Lord of the Rings? I'm like, no, man. It's like, what? Dude, you need to watch it. I was like, wait, what do you mean? I was like, what were you watching instead? I was like, Star Wars? And they're like, oh, nah. I'm like, wait, what's wrong with Star Wars? They'll say me. I was like, yo, hey, I love Star Wars,
Got hit with a nah.
right? And I'm like, even though the last trilogy was complete ass, but
Yes, that's
we don't
universally
talk
agreed.
about that. Yeah, I'm like, that was real bad. Like some of the Star Wars show that Disney Plus puts out, some of them are pretty good. Some of them are like all
Oh
right to
my
me.
god, dude. The Acolyte is
Yeah.
absolute shit.
I've heard the Acolyte was like shit. You said?
Yeah, it's garbage.
Oh, I've heard like the opposite. Like, oh, I love the Acolyte. Like, what makes it so garbage then?
Uh, just from the fact that like they fuck up the timeline, and like if you're,
Oh,
it's like, and it's just a whole bunch of like pushing agendas that don't need to be pushed. It's a show that everyone should enjoy. Instead, it's like
mm.
they force narratives that don't need to be forced.
Okay. So like, they fuck up the timeline in the sense of like, so it's like,
Yeah, they put the
go ahead.
big bald guy named Kiadi Mundi.
Yeah.
The Keanu
Yeah.
Reeves.
Yeah,
Keanu Reeves.
he's not supposed to be alive back then, and he's in that show.
Oh shit, yeah, you're gonna piss off some Star Wars fans doing that, man.
Yeah.
I don't know the timeline all too well. It's just like, hey, this Star Wars media looks cool. When did this happen? And I ask like my Star Wars friends, like, oh yeah, this happened between like episode 5 and like 6 or something. I was like, okay, cool, right? And then like I think I watched a YouTube video of just like out of curiosity to see how far back this whole Star Wars timeline goes, and it's wild, man. Like,
Dude.
how do you all think of this and still make sense of it even after the original movies that were like released in like the 80s came out?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's like I just heard something in my like back just dropped. Like, oh, I guess my roommate's home. I don't know, but
It's actually
yeah,
the
like
ghost.
it's wild. Sorry, what?
It's a ghost.
Fuck, ah, man. I knew I shouldn't have bought. I knew this place sounded too good to be true, man. Like. They mentioned something like it was built over like a pet graveyard or something. I'm like,
Ah, not the. Oh god,
no,
no.
that'd be really sad. I'm not gonna
Pet,
lie.
Pet Cemetery, no.
Not the pet cemetery. I was just like, oh god.
That's
Yeah, like
copyrighted.
it really is. Oh god, am I gonna get you guys sued?
If you
We
do a
don't
good
need
enough.
money anyways.
This is your last episode. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, sorry, podcast is canceled after this.
That's it. That's it. You went out on a high note.
Thank God.
But thank God. Yeah, I was just gonna ask, but like speaking of like favorite forms of like nerddom media, like what would you guys consider as like your favorite form of like nerddom media out of curiosity? Because like I'm honestly more of like an anime kind of guy. Like I feel like I'm one of the few anime guys at my table because everyone else is like, oh, I watch like Lord of the Rings. Oh, I watch Star Wars. Oh, I watch reality TV. I was like, bro, what the fuck?
I
Reality
watch
TV?
Love Island.
And I'm like, they make references to that all the time. I'm like, that's what I mean. But yeah, I'm curious. Like, what do you think is like your sort of like nerddom sort of media? Like your preferred one?
My go-to is anime.
Hey.
Specifically like Pokemon and the Fate series. Those are like two of my favorites.
Pokemon, really? Okay.
I fucking love Pokemon. I grew up on Pokemon.
Okay.
I was born holding a Pokemon stuffy.
Aw.
So it's just been ingrained into me to like, even though their games are absolute garbage now,
Okay.
I still
was gonna ask about that after.
I
Like, how
still
you feel
play
about the
them
game.
and I still buy them because I have hope that the highest grossing media in the world will get good.
Wait, really? Pokemon's considered that?
Yeah, it is the highest grossing media in the world.
I actually didn't know that. Damn.
Dude,
And like,
Pokemon are
yeah, like, Fate, I've heard nothing but good things about. Like, I honestly need to just sit my ass down
Dude,
and check it out.
It is so good. But the timeline is fucked.
Oh my
I was
gosh,
gonna
so
say
it's
I
like
was
the
really
Acolyte?
confused when I watched it.
So is it like the Acolyte kind of fucked, or just like?
No, it's not Acolyte where they ruin it. It's more of like the timeline splits and diverges, and then there's alternate universes and stuff like that. And
So
it's
it's like
just
Kingdom Hearts.
yeah, it's
Oh
it's just
god.
it's fucked up like that.
Yo, the Kingdom Hearts like timeline and like lore is just so. I don't even know how to describe it. Some people are like, don't even try understanding it, man. I'm like, what?
Play them in
That's what
order.
I mean. Huh?
I like to play games in order, so it's like
Yeah. Like, so it's like, what is the proper order then? They're like, oh no, like what came before Kingdom Hearts 1 was like this game, and then what came after that game was that game. And I'm like, bro, what? And there's like how many Kingdom Hearts games out there? And then if you include like the rhythm games,
yeah, the rhythm games.
are the rhythm games like actually canon?
I have no idea. I have not played Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I remember being like, oh god. Here's another thing that shows that I'm old, dude. I remember when Kingdom Hearts 2 first came out, and I still remember the fucking commercial every time it popped up when I was watching my favorite anime on TV as a kid. And I just thought that game looked cool as shit.
It
I
does.
didn't know what the fuck was going on, but sorry, you're saying.
Yeah, they do look like really fun games. Like I own them all
Ew.
because there was a PS4 collection that gave
Nice.
you 1, 2, like a whole bunch of the like random DS games, and then 3.
Damn. Okay, the DS game. I didn't know that they would give you the DS games.
Well,
Holy shit.
I think what they did was they took the cutscenes out of them and just put them on, so it's like kind of like a movie. You don't even have to play the game, which I think is
Oh, so
super
it's kinda-
cool. But
okay, that is kind of cool because I'm like, so it's like kind of like what they did with like Final Fantasy 15 and just like made anime bits of it.
yeah,
Kind of like that.
something similar to that.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's actually really cool. Wow.
Like
Um,
it's like called the All-in-One collection or something.
how much did you get it for? Now I'm curious.
I think when I got it, it was only coming out for like $60-$70.
It's not bad.
So it's like it's literally almost the entire Kingdom Hearts timeline for like a game.
I feel like that's worth. What the fuck, yeah, like $70 for that. Hell yeah.
And I have
right?
still not played them.
All I've heard is that if you were to stream Kingdom Hearts 3, you got to be careful with it because apparently like they don't even have like a streamer safe mode because of like the music, right? Apparently people get hit with DMCA's because of the music.
Oh,
like,
I'm
"That's
used to
crazy,
that,
bro."
dude.
Wait, really?
Yeah, like Pokemon Violet, the recent most Pokemon, had an Ed Sheeran song on the credits. Boom, instant
now?
instant copyright. And like a lot of games like that, like I played before I was even a VTuber, I played Persona 5 on stream.
Hey.
Almost every other episode got like DMC'd on YouTube.
Oh, on YouTube. I was like, on Twitch? I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
no, well, Twitch just mutes the stream, but I wasn't a
Yeah.
huge streamer, so I didn't care. But YouTube, I cared. So
dude, Persona 5 was so good.
that is
Like,
such a good
honestly
game.
speaking. Did you play vanilla or regular?
I played
sorry,
Royal.
Regular.
Regular.
You got regular or vanilla? I'm like,
It's like my dad when he went to go order, like I like plain burgers, but he when my dad went to go to like Burger King or something, he was like, "Yeah, can I get a regular burger?" And I was
what
like,
did the staff say to that?
I wasn't there, but like that's all he said, and I was like, "Oh God."
Just,
No
like,
wonder.
ordering a burger for you?
For him too, but like because
Okay.
he gets everything on the burger. I like mine plain. And so he came home. He's like, I told him regular. I'm like, regular just means a normal burger, Dad.
Yeah, they probably just gave you a regular Whopper, bro.
Yeah. So I was disappointed.
Oh, man. I was gonna say, Scott, what about you? Like, what's your favorite form of fandom?
Oh God, I don't like fandoms, dude. Fandoms are they're a little weird because like some of them get like super weird about it. Like the My Hero Academia fandom is crazy,
Oh God.
or like
so crazy.
the gacha fandom for gacha games.
Yeah, nope. That's
Oh.
why I'm just like, hey, I've heard stuff about the Genshin fandom. Oh shit, they might be listening. But,
I
you
ain't
know,
sponsored.
Yeah. What I was gonna say, like, there's some crazy ass fandoms out there, man. Like as a voice actor myself, if I were to get into like any of those said games, though I did get into Genshin, just saying.
Mhm.
You know, I would probably try to be as separate as possible from the fandom if I know that they're infamous for being kind of jerks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it like the most famous one currently is like from the My Hero Academia fandom, where it's like a girl literally asking the Deku voice actor,
Yeah, I was about to mention that.
how do you like your relationship with his child?
Eri. Yeah, I was like,
It's
hey,
like,
how do you feel about the Deku and Eri ship? And like, he's very uncomfortable. You could tell he's like,
That's a
excuse me?
child.
Like, it's a freaking like, what? She's like 9,
She's
something like that.
I think she's 4 in the game.
Oh God, that's even worse.
Yeah, it's
but, you know, like, and she has like one of the most OP powers. Funny enough. I love how like, you know, like at first he's like, sorry, excuse me, like I thought he was like, even I would have like responded that way as like, sorry, like at first I would have laughed because I thought it would be a kind of a fucked up joke, but I'm like, sorry, but like, could you ask that again? And
Yeah.
like, didn't he like end the panel like right there? He's just like, no, yeah, we're done. He's like, he looked really uncomfortable. I was like, I don't blame him, dude.
He either ended it or just said move on to the next question.
Yeah, I would have done that. It's like, hey, I'm not cool with that answer, and she seemed pretty persistent about it. I'm like,
It's the fandoms, bro.
I was like, I'm not sure if I have enough power to be like, can you get her out of here?
Yeah, get her ass.
I'm just here to have fun and answer questions and entertain, dude, man. You know,
the anime community is really easy to find the weirdos. I'm saying.
God, so easy. Speaking of anime, but Joe, like, do you watch any anime?
Yeah, I watch the most. I just watch. I feel like very mainstream animes. I
Okay,
don't
that's
watch anything
okay.
like
Super like
like
out there, right? Yeah.
yeah, nothing like super out there. I think I was gonna say like the most I'll probably watch like I'll like give everything a try.
Okay.
But I've watched all of the Sword Art Onlines. I've
Ooh.
watched
Oh, my
I think
girlfriend would love you. She's a huge fan of Sword Art.
like
She loves
I
Sword Art.
love it. It's not terrible. Yeah, some of the like more of the spin-offs are kind of weird, but
Okay.
not terrible. I've watched I think up until season 4 of My Hero. It
Okay.
and
It's
stuff
a
like
good show. It's just the fandom kind of sucks, dude.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's a
I don't
great
get
show. I
really
love
too
it.
far into
Yeah.
it.
I watch the show for what it is as fans like, hey, I'm here to see Deku whoop some ass or screw up and change into a different character potentially, you know what I mean? And see where
Oh
they
Exactly.
go
yeah.
with that, right? Like, yeah, that's what I'm there for. You know, get hype with the moments, get sad with certain moments.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just be a fan, right?
Yeah, I
That's the
mean,
thing.
I think the most recent one I just finished up was all of Black Clover. I watched that in like a month.
Ooh,
I like Black
dude,
Clover.
I like Black Clover too. I honestly fell off from it. So, the last thing I remember from Black Clover, what is the name of like from the anime? I did read a bit of the manga, but then
Mhm.
I also fell off from that too. The last time I watched Black Clover was when they met the trap magic guy, the one with like the zip. Not really.
Oh,
Yeah,
Zoro.
him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's his name. His name is Zoro. Damn.
I think so, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was kind of an asshole, but he was also kind of cool. I'm not gonna
Oh
lie.
yeah.
That's what I loved about him. I was like, you're kind of a dick, but at the same time, I ain't gonna lie, you're pretty sick. You know what I mean?
One of the cool
Mhm.
ones.
He really was one of those cool assholes, you know.
I
But yeah.
I do
Oh,
have a
what's up?
question for you.
Sure,
Because it did get brought up a little bit. Uh,
sure.
I was gonna ask you about your voice acting career,
Go ahead. Yeah,
and
like
I kind of wanted to see like what made you want to do that in the first place, and was that a thing prior to streaming, or did you do streaming first and then voice acting?
oh, it's so funny that you asked that. Funny enough, Scott, because one of my more newer viewers, I think you might have met them, Curly D, or we call them Curly. Like you might have seen
Probably,
them in my chat.
probably.
The That's like literally my just individual twin because we have the same birthday. We have similar sounding community names. You know, we're both streamers. Like, anyway, that's enough about Curly. If Curly's watching this, what's up? But
What's up?
yeah, no. So I mean, I could get into that, yeah, for sure. So, funny enough, before I actually became a streamer and started to try and just showcase that on streams, I actually started out as a YouTuber.
Oh
Same
shit!
name, Blowfishman TV. Now I just use that to post my vods and funny shorts. But same like same names, same everything. The only difference was that I honestly, a small part of me kind of like regrets deleting all the old videos just to see how far I've come. You know what I mean?
I get
But
that.
my old videos consisted of me. So you know how like you've probably seen like so many videos like you know uh insert voice actor name here or like online pen name here.
Hmm.
I'm gonna do like all the voices from like Gravity Falls. Like I was like essentially doing shit like that, right? Like
Okay.
impersonations and what have you. That's how I started out. But before that, like honestly speaking, what really got me into it was I was one of those kids in school, still a fucking weirdo. Like I was still a weirdo back then, still a weirdo now. But
I feel that.
one of the right, like I was the weirdo for like liking anime and just reading manga. So how it all really started out was just me reading manga, like the old Naruto mangas and like what have you, and
Mm,
whatever I was into at the time. And I would just literally just practice reading it. Like literally. Like that's all I would do. I would read it out loud. Even sometimes if I was brave enough, I'd like put some emotion into it. My family looked at me like I was crazy. They still kind of do. But that's how it all like really started. And then, from there I just like started like trying to do impersonations of my favorite video game characters, for example, Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, love Mortal Kombat, that kind of stuff. And then it just eventually, then the YouTube channel happened, like, because in college, like, I would always just do imitations of certain characters, and people loved that. They found that really funny or really cool,
mhm.
right? And then after college was the Blowfish Man YouTube channel, and then a year roughly, I was like, I would like kept it going for like a year, um, and then I eventually just fell off, mainly due to the fact that I got like discouraged, right? I was like, because the new YouTube algorithm kicked in, because I was actually like doing all right before that happened, right?
Mhm.
And then like seeing the numbers like just sort of just discouraged the hell out of me. It's like, you know what? I'm putting like X amount of hours like editing this like video, and it's not it's not getting the views that
Yeah,
I thought I deserved, right? And that sucks. As entitled as that might sound, right?
it,
So
it does suck. I get
um,
it.
yeah, right. So I thought it's like, you know what, like I just decided to live a normal life for a bit, though. I always thought that like living that normal life, there was always something missing, right? But I kept going about, and then 2020 happened, and everybody knows what happened in 2020.
Oof.
Um, yeah, I lost my job and everything. We're all quarantined up. And like I ended up just saying, like, looking at it like, look, we can either wait for our job to come back, man, or like give this another shot, right? Give just content creation and voice acting another shot. Because I like, as messed up as this might sound, it was kind of a blessing in disguise that COVID happened, because like I felt like that was my second chance. You know what I mean? They're
I
like,
feel
hey,
that on a
yeah,
like for a school wise thing. Like I think COVID got me through like school, like to not like
really?
blow up. Uh,
Oh wow. Like how did that work for you, Scott?
mainly because it's like I didn't have to like get up and go to like the classroom or anything. I still
Fair.
like doing that, but it's I don't know, being at home and online, and I was like it reduced my like workload, I guess, because I was
Okay,
also in a
fair.
transition period going from community college and doing a whole bunch of classes I needed for my bachelor's at the time.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
I was only doing like one or two classes in that transition period, but they were hard, like physics and chemistry.
Oof.
And so I'm like,
Yeah.
COVID got me through that.
Okay, fair.
Anyway, that continue on with yours
But
story.
yeah, no, like honestly, like I did it. Honestly, the very first people that watched me were like a lot of IRL homies who were like just trapped, and I just decided like, hey, I'm holding my first stream ever, because I ordered like all the stuff from Amazon with like all the checks that the government was giving out to the people who lost their job and shit. I'm like, you know what? I
Hell
could
yeah.
either save this money or use it to like build a decent setup, and I still use that setup to this day for the most part. Um, I was actually running my streams off of the laptop I use for voice acting now, funny enough, which still works. But yeah, ever since then, like my first stream had 12 viewers, which is really good for a first stream,
Yeah, what the fuck?
without any raids. Yeah, without any raids, because like everybody just showed up. I was like, oh shit, I didn't think everybody would. All right, and you know what? The first game I streamed was, it was Had a Full Boyfriend.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was just having fun with Hatful Boyfriend, and people enjoyed that. And then for a while, I was riding the wave of I'm the dating sim guy streamer, and
Okay.
then now it's just more variety nowadays. So like I was known it like that first, and now it's just more variety. I play like a whole bunch of different games. I still do the dating sim stuff here and there if I
Mhm.
find one that still interests me. But yeah,
I will say,
um,
like, getting in like a niche, like, while it is great for viewership and like you get a niche that you're good at, like, because I started out as Valorant, and that's how like a lot of my stuff was growing through Valorant. But
mhm.
like, I don't know, going to variety streaming, it it makes me at least way more happy. My mental is way better than if I just did one
Yeah.
game all the time.
God, like I can't marry myself to one game, man. I have tried, and I'm like, I would get bored after like maybe a month, and I'm like, oh, I don't get. Kudos to people who are like niche streamers, seriously speaking, because I don't know how they do it for so
It's
long.
rough.
It's hard, man. And then like you're kind of, I feel like being as good as niche is for viewership, like you're kind of like you're kind of limiting yourself to what kind of content you can make. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like
Which is why I like variety.
if I stayed on Valorant, I would have probably never thought of doing podcast.
Right? Like you gotta try it. Like that's what I love about being variety. Is like, hey, try anything. You might meet some cool people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People from like all over the place. Like, God, like I remember. So speaking of like just niche games and like niche viewerships, like when it came to Valorant for you, Scott, did you get like any weird viewers, or were they all just like toxic, sort of like
Uh, I've gotten a
riot
few.
riot fanboys?
I've
You know
gotten
what
a
I mean?
weird few
Okay.
viewers in my time.
Yeah.
Usually they end up getting banned
Okay. Good.
just because like either A, I can suss them out of being like a child and I don't really want to deal with like children,
Oh my
or they're
God.
just like extremely weird, or they're like their mental is like already down in the drain. And it's
Their
like
mental is like literally a 10-year-old. Because
yeah,
yeah.
it's like I'm gonna ban you for your mental health, because
Yeah.
dumping it on me is not what you're
Mm.
supposed to do. Go to a therapist.
Like straight up, honestly. Oh my god! But the funny thing is that speaking of like sussing people out as children, so Joe, you're gonna love Joe Scott. You're gonna fucking love this story. So before I even started streaming, my middle brother was actually the streamer first between us two, right? So I was just his mod at the time, right? And I still like rock the Blowfish Man TV like nickname or like Twitch name, Twitch
Gotta keep the
handle.
brand.
Yeah, gotta keep the brand, right? So um my brother would mainly play a lot of COD Warzone. That's like his kind of thing. I'm not really like big into FPSs like that. But so his very first fan, who was clearly a child, oh my god. So some of the stuff that like she would say in chat, man, like she would like when like a kid thinks that they're like a big boy, big girl, big
Yeah.
person, and they try to keep up with the conversation with the adults. Like she was literally like, doing stuff like that, like. 'Cause that was his way of sussing her out, like saying like, "Oh yeah, no, like I got drunk yesterday, this, and that." Like he was being stupid, of course, and I'm just there like laughing half the time, because I'm like, let's see what she's gonna say to this, right?
Yeah.
And at one point she literally said, and I kid you not, she was literally like, "Oh yeah, I go to parties every single day. I shake my ass to hip hop music, this, and that. I'm 19, and I'm like,
I'm 19.
that's literally what she would say, and I'm like. Not all 19-year-olds do that in my head, right? And I would like say that as a mom, I was like, not all 19-year-olds do that, right? Lol. And she's like, what do you mean? All 19-year-olds do that where I live. And I'm like, well, I'm 19 and I don't do that. So, and I put like, I was like fucking with her the whole time. My brother was cool with it, right? So the funniest thing that we did to fuck with her was that my brother would sometimes have me on stream. We would play like games that we used to play together, namely like Donkey Kong Country, right?
Oh my god.
And
what a creep.
so good. And he would introduce me under another name, not Blowfish Man, right? So he would say like, "Oh yeah, this is my brother, da da da," right, and what have you. So at one point, she was being really nice to me, and not only that, she was also just really thirsty for my brother.
So
'Cause
weird, dude.
Yeah, she was a Korea boo, and like my brother convinced her like, yeah, I'm Korean, this and that, right? Because he
Oh,
he
God.
likes K-pop, and like she's like, oh, you're Korean, proof it. Speak some Korean. He knows like a few simple phrases in Korean, like like oh, he said like, oh, hello, 안녕하세요, my name is this and then like this, and she's like, oh my god, you are Korean. Oh, how do you like all the Korean food? This and that. I was like, girl, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
She just
And I'm like,
floated.
yeah, she literally lost her shit. So to fuck with her, right? She's like, "Hey, could you speak?" She looks at me and she's like, "Hey, could you speak some Korean for me?" I'm just like, "Oh, listen, hey, I don't speak much Korean." She's like, "Why not? Like, you two are brothers, right? Like, did he teach you something?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm adopted." And like, my brother was trying so hard not to. I was like, "Yeah, like he like kind of smiles, like, yeah, he's actually Filipino, so my parents they could no longer have children after me. I was like the last like of like my dad's sperm and my mom's egg that was like viable to have a kid, right?" And she's like, "Oh my god, that's so sad, but that's so nice that you adopted him." It's like, "Yeah, no, they wanted another child because they didn't want me to be lonely. They wanted me to grow up to be happy and whatnot. So we got him, which is why he's like so much taller than me and has like darker skin than me and what have you." And I'm like, I was like, "Yeah, I'm from the Philippines, yeah, and what have you, right?" And she like really believed it. She's like, "That's so nice. Oh, your family's the best. This, and that." I'm like, I was trying so hard not to laugh. So was he. That was the funniest thing ever, right? And here's the best part. So I was like, at times I would really fuck with her by saying, "Hey, can we pause it here for a second? I just need to use the washroom really quick." He's like, "Yeah, go ahead," right? So I'd leave the room and I'd go to my setup and I would talk so much shit to her as Blowfish Man.
That's
And they're
so
like,
fucked.
"Oh my god!" And she's like, "Oh, hi, Blowfish. This, and that." And I'm like, "Yeah, hi to you too, and whatnot." And I remember I got her so good, and she got so mad at me. She's like, "This is why you're still single, Blowfish," and like all caps, baby rage, and what have
Oh
you.
my god.
So here's the funny thing, right? So here's how we completely confirmed that this person was a child. Um, so at one point, my brother followed her, right, just for the shits and giggles. And she had one stream, and it was 5 minutes long, and it was on a phone.
What?
And it was like a 10-year-old kid that still had all her baby fat, big glasses, a white girl, and what have you, buck teeth, and she's like looking at the screen, figuring out how to fucking stream. And like she would say, like, yeah, I'm a hot 19-year-old with like huge tits and a big ass. And I'm like, bro, what? You're like
So
10, right?
weird.
And yeah, like my brother like screen captured like her face, like, yo, this is what she looks like. I'm like, oh my god. That was like me.
Oh my god, that is crazy.
Like like I don't know. And it was funny because like I was like gaslighting her, saying like, hey, oh god, when I first started streaming, she followed me too, right?
Hmm.
And she came to my first stream.
Oh no.
I was just like, she's like, hey, you look like your brother's, like, insert brother's name here, brother. Right? And I'm like, what do you
Hmm.
mean? Like, I was like, my name's Steve, bro. Like, I don't get what you mean. She's like, yeah, Steve, and what have you, right? I was like, yeah, Steve. What's so weird about that? Like, I think like the fake name I was going by at the time was like Jolly's. Like, yeah, no, Jolly's my bro, man. Like he and I are like, like, and like I was like trolling her too to keep up like the whole Blowfish Man thing on her. I was like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, Kay. Like, I think you need to get your eyes fixed. Cause yeah, Jolly and I look really similar. I don't blame you for like mistaking us. He's a lot nicer than me. I'm a bit of a jackass, especially to those who deserve it, like you.
Damn.
But yeah, like my name's Steve. Nice to meet you, bro. That was like me, right? And every time I was on my brother's stream, I'd like switch to like someone a lot nicer, just to really fuck with her.
Dude,
Or like sometimes I'd like go on my phone and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna order some food. Like, did you want some?" He's like, "Oh yeah, let's get some like Chinese." I'm like, yeah, sure, because it was like still COVID time, right?
yeah.
So instead of like ordering food, I would just go into her chat on my phone as Blowfish Man, being like, "Yo, can you get me something too?" And then I'm like, "Oh, what's up, Steve? Yeah, you want some Chinese food, bros? Like, I could Uber Eats it to your house. Just like swing me the cash whenever." And I'd be like, "Oh yeah, hold on, Steve's sending me his order. Okay, I'll respond to him right now." And I'd be like, "Yeah, bro." And I'd type in the chat, "Yeah, bro, I'll swing you like the $20 later, right, or something." And she's just like, "Wait, what's going on here? So you're saying that Steve and Jolly, like, you guys are two separate people?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like he said, he was completely right. He's like the meaner version of me. He and I, like, we get confused all the time. We do look very similar. The only difference is that he's like 1 inch taller than me. She's like, "Oh, right." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm 6 feet. He's 6'1". And then she's like, "What? You're 6 feet and whatnot?" I'm like, "Oh my god."
Dude, it's so easy to troll children. Holy shit.
I know, she like believed it. Oh my god. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ. That was like the funniest way to like troll like a crazy viewer, a crazy child viewer to be specific,
Yeah,
right?
that's even worse. But
Yeah,
like
because I'm like, what are your parents doing, bro? You know what I mean?
I've been blessed to not get crazy people, at least. Unless you
I
count all the fellow
Yeah,
streamers I
like,
talk to.
oh yeah, no, well, I mean, that one crazy person that I did mention was a streamer. I don't know what they're up to now, nor do I really care, if I'll be honest. But yeah, speaking of like crazy people, I mean, the only other time I truly had like an incident of like running into someone crazy it wasn't from my community. It was one of my mods put it. Oh no, he never put it in crazy. He did put it in her. He just gave her a chance because he's like, okay, she's kind of cute. Met her at a bar, sure, right?
Mhm.
But like she would not give my mod space, man. Like it was bad. And like it got so bad to the point where she was going to like my stream, my girlfriend's stream, our mutual friend stream. He's like, "Hey, is he here?" And we're like, "No." You know what I mean? Like,
That's a
what the
weird
hell?
thing to ask for.
Yeah, and like at one point she found my Instagram and was like messaging me. She's like, "Hey, do you know where he is right now?" And I wouldn't say anything, and it's like 12 hours later she'd be like, "Hey, you haven't responded to me. Like, where is he?" And then like literally an hour later, in all caps, "You fucking bitch, tell me where the fuck he is right now." I was like, "Okay." So I screenshotted that, sent that to him, and blocked her. I was like, "Hey, you need to control your girl. Like, what the fuck is this?" He's just like, "She's been saying that to you?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh my fucking god, I'm so sorry. Yeah, let me take care of it, right?"
Control your girl.
Yeah, like I was like, I don't know where she gets off saying like thinking I'm your keeper, but like you need to take care of this. Like, this is your business. He's like, "Yeah, I'm really sorry, man." Like he was really cool about it. And like a bunch of my other mods or streamers too was like, "Hey, listen, like we're all a community here. Like if you see her like in your chat, like do what you want. I would suggest banning her because she's just there to look for him, pretty much, right?" And they're like, "Okay, yeah, right." I don't know, like that was like the most recent crazy like viewer I had. I like all the other crazy viewers I would have are from like a lot of my niche games that I would play that would literally like follow me and like their Twitch names were literally the characters from the game because they have no creative bone in their body.
Those are the problem people.
Yeah, they were a big problem. Like they were going at like a few of my viewers, and I'm like, you know, I like timed them out. I was like, hey, you need to stop like talking to my viewer like that. Like, what's your problem? He's like, oh, I could talk to the like. He's like, what do you mean? Like, what I say is like, they're clearly uncomfortable. They're clearly hurt. Like, you need to chill out. Like, it's a game at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, you know, like I would just ban them if they got out of line. It's like, okay, I warned you. You know what I mean? So I was like, hey, you've been consistently here. Thanks, but I'm gonna kick your ass out because you're being rude to a regular. You know what I mean? So.
But you're gonna stop it. I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yeah, I was like, I would let them kick your ass if they knew where you lived. You know what I mean? So it was just kind of funny. Like one of those guys were like going at me, and I'm just like, I was like, oh, I'm the loser. I was like, yeah, says the guy who has a name after a video game character because he has no creative bone in his body, and he just stopped saying anything, and I'm like, that's what I thought. You know what I mean? Like
That's what I thought.
he was unironically saying it, right? I was like, okay, you know what? Like I'm tired of this, right? I was like, oh, I'm a loser. I was like, wow, like, do you touch grass, bro? I was like, me? Clearly not. If your name is after, you know, a video game character.
Hey man, grass is poisonous, man.
Yeah, grass is poisonous for those kinds of people. You know, they'll die if they touch it. You know, you might as well feed them like a whole clump of grass.
Honestly, bunch of weed killer.
Oh yeah, that you know, I guess you know I'd be doing that fandom a favor. I'm kidding, but not really. Yeah, like Joe, like, have you ever had like any experiences like? Does Joe watch your stream out of curiosity? Oh wait, fuck, he's in your chat right now as Joe Dirt
I was
ABC.
gonna say.
I was like, wait, he's in your chat right now. I'm a fucking idiot.
No, I don't. I don't watch him at all.
Is that your? Hold on, is that your brother?
Joe?
You're like you're
Oh, yeah.
adopted. You're adopted like.
Yeah,
brother from
he's my
Philippines.
adopted
Yeah,
brother.
it's stuff and double stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's Joe, and then I'm guessing his name is like Joseph, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, gotcha. Sorry, my bad.
Actually, his dog watches more than he does.
Wait, really? Okay, that's funny. What kind of dog you got? That's funny.
I have a Australian Labradoodle.
Oh shit, that's a lot of fucking hair, man.
Mhm.
That is a lot of hair.
Yeah.
Oh god. Cause like I think I told Scott this, but Joe, like I outside of Twitch and outside of voice acting, I work in a dog salon, and hearing that, I'm just like, oh god, all that hair, all that brushing. You know what I mean?
My
Oh,
favorite
what a
thing
pain in
is
the ass.
most people do not. They think it's like a Australian Shepherd,
Yeah.
but it's literally a Labradoodle mixed with I forgot. It's like a not a corgi. It's one of the smaller dogs, but basically making a Labradoodle smaller. I always forget.
I mean, there's like miniature labradoodles, I guess. Like, we'll go with that, I guess. Like, is he like big or is he like a more on the small end?
Sorry, I just got confirmation. It's a lab poodle and a cocker spaniel.
Oh, is it like
So
okay? Oh,
yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good. I was just like, oh no, do you like disconnect? I got worried. I'm like, did he disconnect?
That's,
Like,
that's what I
no.
thought as well. I was like,
I
No,
was
sorry.
like,
I
yeah,
had
you're
to
good,
pause
you're good,
it and
you're
I
good.
just got confirmation. Lab poodle and a cocker spaniel. It's pretty much
Aw.
like, and then she's 4th gen. So basically, it's like she's a purebred.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
pretty
Not
dope.
not a cheap dog. Don't
No,
look up the
God.
prices for those dogs. It's not funny.
How much did you get her, if you don't mind me asking?
3,200 or no 3,500.
my God.
Holy shit! How did you have that money?
He doesn't.
Your money.
We didn't.
Oh, okay.
It
Did you
was more of
steal
a gift.
Oh wow. Okay, even better. Never mind. All right. Through
Yeah.
legal means. But
Researcher money is crazy.
I was like, you had that researcher money. Shit, bro. Who are you? I'll hate them. You know what I mean?
But yeah, no. She's a good dog. It's
Okay.
a lot of work though. Yeah. Like how? Wait. So
What's up?
what's your favorite type of dog to groom?
Ooh, that is a very good question. Honestly, like, it depends on the day I'm having. If I'm gonna be honest with you, in a sense, like how busy the work day is, right?
Yeah.
Like, I guess for me, honestly, a lot of people are surprised by this. I fucking love Rottweilers, dude.
Okay.
Dude, Rottweilers are
They're
cool.
they're fucking cool, man. Like, if trained right, they could be like the best.
Mhm.
But like, like they could also be really terrifying if not trained right.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I would say like those are like when it comes to big guys, definitely like a Rottweiler. Small guys, people were surprised by this. I love Boston Terriers, bro. I
Oh
love those
dude,
little-
my parents used to breed Boston's.
No way. Get the
Yeah.
fuck out. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Like purebred?
yeah. They used to
Okay,
be,
shit.
yeah, like I love Boston's. We had one for he was like 18 when he passed. And
dude.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
you took care of him well if he lived up to 18. Shit.
yeah.
That's crazy.
He his name is Remington, like the
Like
the
the
gun
gun.
brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he was a Brindle Boston, but when he
Ooh.
yeah. I it was the funny thing too. They got him like it wasn't one of like the puppies or like one of the breeders. It was like pretty much they got him because somebody didn't want him. It was kind of like one of
Aw.
those accident puppies, and so we ended up taking care of him. We had him since I was a baby all the way up until he passed. But yeah, no, that dog, he was blind,
Oh shit.
deaf,
Okay.
and he just went off vibes by the time when he passed.
Vibe.
It was like one of those things that he still did stuff, but at the same time, it was like he's not like we like fed him like wet food and everything. But yeah, no, dude, that dog was old.
Dude, yeah, the fact that he lived till 18 with all those health conditions is pretty nuts in a good way. I was like, what?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We lived on
yeah,
a farm too, so he kind of had like
Ah.
room to roam around and eat
Fair,
berries and stuff.
Okay. That makes
Yeah.
sense then. Gotcha. As for medium guys, I don't know. Like medium guys, there's a lot of good ones. The
Mhm.
basic answer is probably like a lab, but
That was gonna
I
be
don't
my
know, like-
answer.
yeah,
I love my
they're
lab.
good dogs. Labs are fun. They can be really fun. Like, or they can be pretty vicious. Like, it was so funny because my girlfriend also works in a similar industry. She's more on the vet industry, where I'm more on like the cosmetic side of things when it comes to pets. But like, her and I collectively agree, Shibas are the worst.
Oh my god, Shibas. They're rough. I've been coming around to Huskies lately.
Honestly, like at first, when I first worked there, I was really taken aback by them just because of how energetic and how loud they could be. But now I'm just like, oh, a husky. I'm probably gonna lose my hearing for the day, but so long as they don't bite me, we're fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Huskies aren't bad dogs. Like they are. They're really good looking. It's just
Yeah.
they're a lot. Like
Oh
you
my
need like a whole. You probably need a farm for them because they have like a lot of energy. That's the thing, right?
Yeah,
That's the
like
thing.
when I went off to college, I got a roommate that had a husky, and oh my god, that dog was insane and pretty disobedient to anyone else in the house besides the roommate.
Oh
And
wow.
so it was just like like the dog liked me, but like he didn't like me enough to take orders, you know?
Yeah,
So,
he's
like,
like, I like you, but I don't respect
Yeah, so
you.
like he would jump on my bed and I'm like, bro, it's bedtime. I want to go to bed. This ain't your room. Get out.
Fuck you. He pretty much was he like, yeah, fuck you. I'm sleeping here too. I'll be
Yeah,
like,
sometimes, yeah. He's just like, oh my.
I like you. I don't respect you. I'm
Yeah.
like, wow. Okay.
And then when that roommate moved out, because I was also living with my sister at the time, she got 2 huskies now. So
Oh, it's a lot of fucking hair.
so
Honestly,
oh my god, the huskies were they were
they were
allowed.
loud. I can imagine. They were loud. You probably had hair everywhere at one point. I'm guessing.
Yup. There was
Yeah.
hair on every inch of that house.
Oh, how often? Like, it's hard to keep up with that, man. Because like, I'm sure you and her, like, you were probably at school. And she was probably at work.
Yeah, my sister is a clean freak, so she just cleaned everything.
Oh.
So
Okay.
that worked out. The only thing she wouldn't
That
clean is
definitely-
my room, which is fair. I
Fair.
cleaned my own room.
Yeah. Okay, fair. It's completely fair.
But she like my sister loves animals and stuff, so she had like
Hey,
at one time she had 9 fish tanks in that house.
holy shit! How does she afford that?
She doesn't.
Oh,
Which is why they got reduced to 3.
okay, good.
And
Christ.
but like oh my god, there were so many animals, and she also has 2 or 3 sugar gliders in that house now because
wow.
she had one, and then she grabbed a female, and then they had babies.
Oh my
So
god.
so not only does she have 2 huskies, she has like 3 fish tanks and like 2 or 3 sugar gliders now.
That's so crazy.
And I don't
Damn.
know how she does it.
I don't know how she does it either, bro. You don't live with her anymore, I'm guessing?
No, so I would move to that town for college, and when I graduated, I moved back in with my parents.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay, so you
she stayed there. She moved out with me originally, so we could, like, rent was easier to pay for.
yeah.
And I left her there, and I went back home.
You're like, well, bye.
Yeah, I got my degree. Peace.
Now you got to take care of all the bills.
Yeah, basically.
God. No, I was just lucky when it came to like college. I was just blessed to the fact that like my university was not that far from my house, so I didn't even have to worry about like, paying what's it called, paying residency and what have you. Because like, dude,
Mhm.
so many people I ran into is like, bro, like they charge you up the ass for like everything in college, and I'm like, yeah, it sounds like it.
Yep. College
And if
sucks.
then you're just gonna get yourself in debt and then probably never pay it off. Um, it
Yeah.
just keeps going up, right? Ah, Jesus Christ. I'm still laughing at the fact that like for the longest time, Joe, I didn't know that you and Scott were in I'm gonna assume Cali because you're in the PST time zone. Because it was funny because when Scott invited me, I was like, yeah, dude, I'd love to be on your podcast. Like, can you guys do Sunday? Like Sunday night would work. And he's like, I was like at like 9:30, and you're like, and Scott's like, that's a little late, but we can make that work. And I'm like, and then Scott's like, wait, Blowfish, what time zone are you, bro? And I'm like, Eastern. Why? He's like, oh, so your 9:30 is like our 6:30. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're in
Yeah.
we're in the Pacific time zone. I was like, oh shit, okay, yeah, that works too, right? Because I'm like, 9:30 is late for you guys. What? That was like me.
Well,
But, it's
I
like you
mean,
guys are proper functioning adults.
I try to go to bed around like 10 or 11. Personally, it
Really?
never works. I'm always up until
Okay,
like
fair.
1 a.m. or something.
Hey, same,
But
dude. Like, keep going, yeah.
yeah, I had a really dumb moment when I was messaging you about that. I'm like, wait, did you mean AM? And I'm like, bro, he clearly
Yeah.
did not say AM.
I was just like, oh god, if it was AM, like sometimes I don't even get up that early. For
Dude,
work.
I do not
Um,
even get up that early.
Yeah, I was like, I sleep the hell in if I don't have work. Fuck that noise.
Um, but we are in Oregon. I don't know. I
Oh, okay, gotcha.
we won't associate with those burning alive people down there.
I was gonna
Dude,
say,
it is not that much colder up here, right?
I know. It's like 90 something.
I was
Oh,
gonna say
God.
yesterday was like 100.
Yeah. Dude,
Jesus
I went to go take out the trash today, and
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know where my shoes are, so I started walking, and I was just barefoot and on the asphalt of our driveway, like, it's too hot, and I ran back in and put
Dude.
on the world's tiniest shoes.
I don't blame you, man. Like walking on hot asphalt fucking sucks.
I made it
Even
a
if you're
fair,
just taking out-
I made it a fair distance before I realized I'm burning.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, oh, that's gonna hurt. Oh god, It's just kind of funny because like every time I start stream, I always like as joke, or not really as joke, but like kind of serious, like say like what the weather is like, because up here in Canada or Kanakistan, wherever you are in the states, we go by many a name in Canada.
Maple
But
Leaf.
Maple Leaf country, whatever you guys want to call us. We use like Celsius, but I remember one of my best friends on stream who's all like all the way in Texas. He's all like, oh, what's funny? He's like, you know what C stands for the weather up there? I was like, what? He's like, C stands for Canuck. I was like, does F stand for freedom? And he fucking like ever since then I was like, yeah, it's 23 degrees Canuck for all you freedom loving weather folk out there. Hang on, it's like 70 or something like that. And then everyone in my chat's like, oh fuck, that's hot. I'm like, right?
Oh fuck, that's on.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
I was
say
like,
they're
oh, okay.
freedom units.
The freedom
units.
Oh my
It's
God.
like F and C. I was like Canuck and freedom degrees.
Dude,
That's what we go by, right?
it's so weird because like in science, like we're like programmed to almost use Celsius and like Kelvin for almost everything.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say.
And then all of a sudden it's like I still don't know how hot that is.
Right, and I'm like, okay, what's that in Fahrenheit for all the Americans in chat, right? So
Because like Celsius to Kelvin is like super easy math, but Celsius to freedom units is some fraction shit that I don't even want to deal with.
Yeah, it's so
It's
complicated. Sorry, what's up, Scott?
it's no, I was gonna say like I feel like when you look at Celsius, nothing looks that hot. But when you
It doesn't.
look at it in like Fahrenheit, it's like 100 degrees feels like it's 100 degrees. But when you look at Celsius, what's like 100's like
Like 30.
100's
40
like
something Celsius.
which is still really high. It's kind of funny because I remember I'm so used to using Celsius. I remember it's like, yeah, it's like 80 degrees here, bro. I'm like, Celsius? What the fuck is that? An oven? And they're like, no, Fahrenheit. I was like, oh right, you're American. That's like me.
I mean, it's still kind of an oven.
Yeah, I'm just like that's 80 degrees from what I've heard. Sounds very hot.
It can get there. It depends on the environment, like humid or dry. Like 80 dry is like fine, but 80
Yeah.
humid, you're dying.
Oh god, don't even
Like
talk
the
to me about
humidity is what kills you.
Yeah, humidity's really bad. Honestly speaking, like right now, I have all the lights off because it's actually kind of humid today,
Yeah.
and I'm just speaking with you guys on my microphone, and like I don't even know if you hear my fan in the background. I was like, it is
We
too
do
fucking
not.
hot. I thank God. I do not. I was just like, I walked in. I'm like, it's too fucking hot here. Just cracked.
Oh
All the
my God.
windows.
That's why I got the
Fucking
AC
worst.
blowing on me, dude. Like it's
Right,
hot.
right. I'm like, this feels good right now, and I love it. Right?
Oh gosh.
Oh God. But yeah, like I was actually gonna ask, like, how long have you two been doing this podcast out of curiosity?
Oh fuck.
Uh,
6
not
months.
quite a year. Is it 6 months?
I think it's been about 6
Okay.
months.
Did we start?
Because this
Did
is
we start in January? No, we were still in class together.
yeah. I think
So it must have been since November, December.
yeah, because like this is episode 9, I believe,
I
Oh
have
shit,
no
okay.
idea.
and we do
okay.
about
That's
once a month.
Once a month, okay.
Sometimes we try to do twice a month, but that's rough on me just remembering.
Oh yeah, no. Like I always find it hard, like with podcasts, where it's just like, hey, how do you come up with new shit to talk about if you're planning on doing it weekly? That's hard, man.
Improvise. That's what we do.
You know, that's fair. Like that's a part of it too, right?
Like-
improvisation.
my like go to with this podcast, and Joe can maybe hate this or not, but I come in with one question or one topic, and I just hope that it naturally goes from there.
And just end up just shooting the shit, right?
Yeah, basically, that's what we try to do.
Honestly, sometimes those are like the best kinds of podcasts. Sorry, you're saying?
Because like that's what I was gonna say. Like every time I message a guest, I'm like, hey, there's nothing you need to worry about. Like if you come with a topic, great. If you don't, cool. You know, we just want you to be here and shoot the shit with us.
Yeah, man. Like, I also feel like when it comes to it was kind of funny when I was like running my podcast. We were called like the Faking It podcast because like fake it till you make it, that
Yo.
kind of thing, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, the two guys that were from the UK that I was doing it with, you know, they were completely new, and it was also my very first time actually running a podcast. And like I would just like give them tips and tricks somehow. I was like, dude, like this is my first time, and I'm just speaking normally like I would usually do it. You know what I mean? I've been known to talk a whole lot, right? So that's the thing. And you know, sometimes sticking to subject I feel like is kind of limiting at times, right?
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, hey, whatever flows out naturally, so long as it all connects somehow, I think it's fine. I think better than fine. I think it's pretty great. I don't know, right?
I mean, in my opinion, it works out better. I don't know. Because like a large majority of these podcasts, I come out saying like, you know, I feel really good about that episode. That episode felt great. There's been a couple where it's like that one was kind of lame, but it's like still good enough.
Yeah, like I remember one episode we did, so we would always like if we were to ever have guests, right? Like we would like discuss like, hey, so originally we made one mistake of bringing in so like it was a friend of theirs. Like it's not that the guest was like a terrible person. They were nice people. There was like two of them, right?
Mhm.
But you know, that episode didn't fully pan out the way we wanted it to just cuz they weren't the most like talkative people.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's hard finding good guests, like honestly speaking.
Oh my god.
And you know, like one of the other like because these two like they're in the same situation as you two, like you guys met in college and what have you, and they're like, yeah, you know, we've been buds ever since, and decided to, you know, shoot the shit and make a podcast, right? You know, like one of them was just like, hey, we're not doing that again because like these guys didn't say a lick of anything. You know, they had a hard time getting them to talk, and I'm just like, okay, like, because like I wanted to like let them kind of spread their wings, like, yeah, get them some experience, right? So I'd like step in case something were to happen.
Mhm.
Bro, I tried my absolute hardest to get those two to talk. They were not talking, and I'm like, hey guys, I am so sorry. Like, I know I'm pretty good at getting people to talk, but like, I was getting nothing from these guys. Like, no, it's okay. We knew you were really trying. I was like, yeah, I'm really sorry about that, guys, right?
Ugh.
But
Eh,
yeah, like, sorry, you were saying, Scott?
I was gonna say I definitely know the feeling of trying to get someone to talk that doesn't seem like they're fully there and ready to talk. I guess
Yeah,
not
right.
like
Like,
it's not podcast specific, but it's like some of the people. It's just like you go to talk to like sometimes like a fellow streamer like, and it's just like they're just not telling you anything, and it's just like I don't
yeah,
I don't even know what to do for at this point because
they're
I
better
don't
lurkers than
yeah
viewers, I
like
would say.
I'm a huge lurker.
Yeah,
Like even if I don't type in chat, I'm pretty much in everyone's chat at all times.
yeah.
But
No, same
like
here, right? Like,
uh
sorry.
no, it's fine. Like I'm not a like good word person, I guess. I don't know how to describe that. Just like I can't keep up a conversation on my own, which is why I have Joe, the extrovert of the two of us.
The silent one right now.
Yeah, yeah, the one
I was
that's
gonna
just
say, I was just like, wait a second, what? Joe,
yeah.
you're an extrovert? Let's go.
Yeah. Like I'm more of an extrovert, but at the same time, like I'm letting you talk and everything too. So
Yeah, no, like a lot of people like to say, even my girlfriend's like, I think you're an extrovert. It's like, I don't know. I find myself just between both. It really just depends on where I'm at and what the person is like
The
for me.
vibes.
Yeah, it's the vibes, right? Shit, my bad, Joe. I didn't mean to silence you in any sort of way.
oh
Fuck.
no, no, that's
Okay.
fine.
Silence, Joe.
I was like, oh shit, my bad if I silenced you. Um, but yeah, no, like speaking of that, like I guess for Joe, like I guess these are gonna be two separate questions for both of you. For Scott mentioning the whole introvert extrovert thing. For you, Scott, like what do you like being an introvert as well as like what do you not like about it? And I guess for Joe, it's the other way around. Like as an extrovert, like what's a great thing about it, but what's also tough being one? You know what I mean? I guess like whoever wants to start first. Probably the
uh,
extrovert. I don't know.
I'm, I don't know.
I was gonna go with the introvert over there.
Yeah,
Okay, fair.
I'll get my like 2 words out. uh, I don't know. I do like being an introvert because I do like kind of being on my own, but at the same time, I do like talking with people. Like I love making meaningful friendships, like
Yeah.
Joe or you or like Slater at uni and stuff like that. Those kind of people.
Not
Oh,
Pluto.
fuck Pluto.
Yeah. Hey, keep going.
uh, but like I like it, but I also dislike it because I find it really hard to get the correct words out, I guess. Like things I'm feeling and my emotions and whatever. And
Fair. Okay.
I will say I think streaming has made me better at that, and I think it improved my improv at least. Like I'm still an introvert, but I can do these like long conversations with myself and talk to people for longer periods because I used to just be like a yes no kind of person. It's like, "Oh, how do you feel today?" "Uh-huh."
I'm good. That's all.
Kind of hot. And like that's what I used to do, and I still kind of do that off stream, but like uh yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. I don't think there's anything wrong with being an
Oh,
introvert,
there's
especially since I'm hiding behind a screen and I'm a VTuber. It's way easier.
fair. What about you, Joe?
So I guess the great thing is I can talk to anyone. I will
Hmm.
just have conversations with people at the store. I mean,
Yeah.
if I'm at like just a rest stop and just waiting and I have to wait for anyone, I will just start talking to random people. It's
Honestly, that's
amazing.
fucking cool.
The terrible and shitty part about being I'm not like the in the middle extrovert. I'm like on the extreme end.
Oh, you are okay.
I'm
Yeah, I was like, I'm in the middle end of extrovert. I'd say I was like,
no, I cannot be alone. Like I have
oh,
to
okay,
have
gotcha.
people
With
by
you.
like I could be like in a room and not talk to somebody, that's totally fine.
Hmm.
But it gets to the point where when I was still lived at home, I was like 19, 20. My mom and my sister went on a trip, just those two, and I stayed back and took care of the pets and everything.
Gotcha.
I It was only 3 days, and I cracked under pressure. Sometimes you leave
no.
me alone for like 5 minutes, and I have to talk. I cannot be quiet, and I cannot be alone. It sucks.
Yeah, so you're like the extrovert, what's
Yes.
still
Oh
pictured
my
to be
god.
an extrovert.
Him.
Because like,
Sorry.
oh no, you're good. I was like, because like I feel like I'm like the in between you two. I was like, I love my alone time. I don't know what it is, but at the same time, I also just love striking up a conversation with a random person. You know,
Mhm.
like that's also a part of my job. Just because like I get like so many clients that are like, hey, you take care of my dogs. Like, oh yeah, how are they doing? How's the kids and what have you, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm like kind of in the middle of that, I guess, but I feel like I'm more on the end of extrovert. But hey, if you put me in again, like I'm also just the only one in here right now in my own place because I have a roommate. It's pretty fucking chill. I don't know,
I
right?
bet.
So I'm definitely more in like the middle. But yeah, like Scott, like I don't know, like you definitely gave me introvert vibes,
Oh yeah.
but like not like you're not like 100% introverted. Like you know how to strike up a conversation.
Oh
It's just
yeah.
you know.
I've gotten way used to it. I think ever since I
Yeah.
went to university, it got easier to just chill and
Oh,
chat
same.
with people.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because you kind of have to.
yeah, and that was like all after COVID too. So I was alone for like the 2 years that COVID was happening or something.
Yeah.
So it's just like going to university. And it's like I gotta make friends, man.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like honestly, when it came to university for me, I felt like it was just like a sort of like a clean slate, you know, like, and
That's
just
how I
decided
treated it.
to, yeah, and like decided to sort of reform myself when I was 18 because I was a lot quieter before, and now I sometimes don't even shut up. Ask my girlfriend.
Jesus.
Oh no, she absolutely loves the fact that I talk. I mean that in like the most like funny way possible.
Oh, I do too, man. It saves me from talking.
Right? It's kind of funny because sometimes like I run into like an extrovert who's more extroverted than me, and I'm just like, and I'll let them talk. I'll be like, this is kind of nice, right? And then when they ask me a question, then I'll go off, and it works out that way, you know.
It is nice.
I was like, yeah, it's nice. It's like I don't have to do the talking for once. This is good, right? So
I I
I
will say I thought it was really funny that like this is technically our first time talking to each other because
you
like
do, yeah.
because like every time else is either in DMs or in each other's chats.
Or like sometimes I would like message you some random shit,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, that's cool, and you do the same thing to me, like, yo, that's dope, man.
That's because I'm just really bad at holding conversation. So like when you
Oh,
show
that's
me something
fine.
cool, I'm like, that's super cool, but I can't convey that.
Yeah, or either
Yeah,
that, or you just react to it and be like, okay, he saw it, you know.
yeah. I've been known to just read something and then put it down and then forget to come back to it.
Oh God,
Yes.
I could be pretty guilty of that. I'm not gonna lie. And man, funny enough, like speaking of that, like during this podcast, I literally got a message from my brother saying, "Hey, my wedding's coming up. What are you gonna eat?" And I'm like, "Oh right, I need to get back to him about that." That was like me.
Oh
I was
no.
like, "Right." I did. It's like, yeah, you got to send that to me soon because like the due date for me to order all the food is like real soon. I was like, "Oh shit, I'll do that after the podcast." You know what I mean? So
Oh my god.
I was like, "Yeah." Speaking of that, that happened like 20 minutes ago. And I'm still here shooting the shit with you guys, and I absolutely love it.
Hey man, that's how it goes.
That's how it goes, man. I was gonna say, like, what do you guys actually have a name for your podcast?
Yeah, it's
I
called
don't
The
know if you
Cycle
said.
Continues.
Oh shit. Okay. What's the meaning behind that name? Now I'm curious about that.
Uh, so in the beginning of the podcast, sometimes, so we
Yeah.
didn't have a name for like 3 episodes, and
Gotcha.
the idea was we found ourselves starting with the topic idea and then somehow coming back to the topic idea like an hour later, and so it's just
Okay.
like it just kept repeating itself, and so that when that came up, we'd know that we would get our final thoughts out, and then that would be the end of the episode because we just repeated the cycle.
That's fucking clever, in my opinion. What the fuck? I actually really like that. I was just like, because I only pictured you know, Nasus from League of Legends saying that's like the cycle of life and death continues. That guy, And I'm like, that's what it made me think of, and I'm like, oh, that's actually really fucking clever. I like
I
that.
was
So,
gonna say that's actually too clever.
yeah, I was like, that's really clever. What the hell?
My brain go
Okay,
burr.
right?
I got some
was like,
genius moments once in a while.
oh, I mean, hey, shit, that sounds like me too sometimes, right? You know, I'm like, oh yeah, like you know that meme. My friend, he sent me a meme where it's just like, gentlemen, I may not have a brain, but I have an idea, and I'm like, that's literally me at streams.
I have an
That's
idea.
literally me on stream. I may not have a brain, but I have an idea. It was from like that one of the DreamWorks monster movies. Is like a blue blob, and Seth Rogen voiced it. You know,
Oh, Bob, I
Oh
think.
yeah.
I think yeah.
Bob
It
the
was the
line.
Monsters versus Aliens.
yeah. That's what it was. I've never really watched that movie. How was it?
I don't remember.
I don't know. I've never watched it.
All I remember was there was like I couldn't tell whether or not the poster was showcasing this or like the person was just a giant, but there was like a giant lady
Yeah,
Yep.
in the
there
poster.
is.
Was she actually giant or like a normal sized
Yep.
person?
She was a person that became a giant, I think.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That makes sense. Because I was like, there was a giant lady. I don't know if because everyone else was that small or or she's
Uh,
actually a giant. You know?
DreamWorks be showcasing the big booty, you know.
Oh yeah, DreamWorks knows exactly what they're doing, bro.
Oh my
Come on,
god.
they got to
It-
showcase that big booty. At
It's for
times.
kids and adults.
It's so funny because like I feel like so many kid shows that I watch insert so many adult humor jokes in them. As a kid, it flew by my head, and rewatching some of the episodes, I would burst out laughing because I would get the joke.
Yo.
Now that I'm 30, I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Or like sometimes I'm watching a SpongeBob episode, and my dad laughs at like a random line Patrick says, and I'm like, what's so funny about that joke, Dad? He's like, you know what? You'll understand when you're older. And now I understand what he's saying.
And now we're older.
And now we're older. Now we're here. You know.
Time is flies and we're old.
Right? Fuck.
And then according to Pluto, being 30 is decrepit, so.
What?
What'd you say, Sonny?
What'd you say, Sonny? Hopes and dreams in this day and age.
I used to have those.
I used to have those, and then the government overcharges me for everything.
My taxes are high.
Taxes are high. I could barely afford my gout medicine. That's
Oh
not
my
true, but,
gosh.
always save your money.
What? It's not true that you can't afford ground medicine?
Oh no, I can. It's just I can. It's just more like I'm just fucking about, you know. Oh lord.
Gosh.
But that's crazy. Like this is awesome, guys. Thanks so much for having me. Seriously
Yeah.
speaking.
We would love to
Man.
have you back again. We haven't done
for
a
sure.
returning guest episode yet, but
Hey,
we
I
could.
would love to do that with you guys. Yeah, hell yeah. I hope I gave you guys a lot of content. I was like,
Oh my
damn,
god.
that's over the limit. Holy shit. You
I
know?
mean, I don't know if we've said this on the podcast itself yet, but we are trying to find a third permanent member.
Okay.
Obviously, like I would ask you, but I know you're very busy. But yeah, I'm still looking for that third member.
Oh God, do you have like any ideas? Like, oh, I
Nope.
would love to be a returning guest. I was like, I would love to be a returning guest, man.
Yeah.
Like, honestly speaking, yeah, I'll make history here. Yeah.
I honestly don't know who would be a good fit for the third member. Just
Imagine if Pluto was the third member.
no, Pluto can't be a third member, bro. I tried doing one.
You, Scott?
I did one stream with Pluto, and it was she can't not talk, dude.
Was it that time you guys were watching Wuthering Waves stuff?
Yeah, I was like,
I was wondering who that was. I'm like, who is that? I was like, oh. And then she mentions like, yeah, like that was me on Scott's stream yesterday. I was like, that was you? I was like, on my stream.
yeah, hit her with that lisp.
Hit her with the lisp. Oh no. Which I'm surprised she just didn't say "fuck you, Scott" off the bat. I don't know.
Honestly,
That doesn't sound like.
I guess
Pluto
she was
me,
trying to
bro.
be professional
That's fair.
because she wants to start streaming herself,
Okay.
but it's like,
That's fair.
I-
yeah.
ooh, that was actually another question I was kind of bring up.
Sure, go
um,
ahead. What's up?
Was people that want to start streaming but either are too scared or don't know how, like what are some like ideas or encouraging words that you would probably give them?
Ooh, that's a good one. Honestly, like I would probably just say just do it, but I don't think that would exactly work for them.
That's what I
Learn
tell
what's
them.
different.
I just say just do it,
Yeah,
bro.
honestly, it's like how I see it is like I wouldn't exactly give them like a little like catchphrase, like something like you can do it, nothing like that. It's more like I guess to me it's just like, hey, like I could tell that they want to try and want to do it, but of course, I guess in a way, streamer anxiety or content creation anxiety is like stopping them. I
Mhm.
get why. I've been there, right? To
I'm
me, I'm
still
just
there.
like, oh, here you are, and you're doing
I
just
know.
fine. But I guess I would say to them like I just sit them down and be like, hey, like one of my main things that I try my best to do is just try to live your life with no regrets, man. Like, yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
do it, because I feel like you're gonna regret it if you don't try at least once. If
Yeah.
if it's definitely something you want to try, is like you're thinking about it, I would say try it. What do you have to lose if it doesn't work out? Or I'd be like, give yourself like a timestamp, like, because before, I mean, when I first got back into just content creation in general, I'm like, I told myself, I was like, hey, I'll give myself a month. We'll see how I feel. And if I don't, like, if I'm not really feeling it anymore after a month, I just sell all my stuff and just go back to living a normal life. Or if I do, I'll keep it going. And thankfully, I kept it going. Now we're here.
Yeah.
So
Because like,
yeah, I would just tell them is like live life with no regrets. I know you want to try it, but you're scared. But you can't live like that forever, right?
yeah,
That's
because
the thing.
that's kind of like how I started. Is like, no, like I have nothing to lose. Like I might as
Yeah.
well like do it. And like my idea, at least for me, for streaming wise, was I record all the single player games and I put it on YouTube because I like
Okay.
to encapsulate
Yeah.
my first ever time playing that game. So that way I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh damn, how did I respond to this when I first played this game? If I ever go back to it, and then I can go look at that video. I'm like, these are my memories. So it's
Yeah.
more like a time jar for myself.
Sort of like a time capsule in a way,
Yeah.
right?
And like
Okay.
if other people watch it, that's a
Yeah.
bonus. But it's
Yeah.
like
And then
I've been told so many times, it's like, what if no one shows up to my first stream? What if no one chats? What am I gonna do? And it's like, for my first year of streaming, I've had no one. I mean, even now, I still have to talk by myself with no one in chat. But it's like you kind of just get through it somehow. You just
you
kind of
just do it.
talk.
Like seriously, yeah, you talk. Like one of the number. Oh yeah, right. One of the number one things I could say is like, just practice talking to yourself, man.
Yeah,
Like it works, right? Like it really does. You'll probably get funny looks from whoever you live with, but that's how you got to do it.
yeah. Because like
Best
I
way
talk.
to-
Oh, sorry. Go on.
Oh, I was gonna say the best way to start is just go into the mirror and start having a conversation with yourself,
Yeah,
and then
like
start
seriously.
yelling at yourself.
I can't look.
Start yelling at
And
you and
harping
beaming.
it.
I can't look at that ugly fuck in the mirror. What are you talking about?
Oh my god. Who's that? Who's ugly mug? Is
Who's
that
that
the
loser?
fuck?
Just make
Anyway.
sure the mirror image doesn't win, because the
Yeah.
moment that wins is the moment you lost.
That's when you blow up.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's when you blow up. Stop this. That's funny.
I say blow up now instead of KYS.
Oh. Oh, I get what you. Yeah. All right. Fair. fair.
Because I think it's way funnier. Like, motherfucker, I'm gonna blow up.
You know what? That's fair. That's a very very like a lot friendlier and lighter way to put it. By the way, I was gonna say I love the background of this podcast, guys. At the
Oh,
mountains. I don't
thank-
know why.
Thank God, everyone loves this stuff. That's
I don't
It
know
always
why.
changes.
Like, do you guys always have like something different in the backdrop for like
Yeah.
every?
we tried to. We used to do like some crazy psychedelic stuff, and then people were like, I don't like seeing that. And then
Fair.
the comment I got was, I really enjoyed the nature shots that from that one episode. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it works
I was
with
gonna
us.
say, that's fair. Sorry, keep
I was
going.
gonna say it works with us because we're geologists and we can probably tell you all about the jointing and fractures.
All about the lime rock.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah.
you got a
All
rock
of that
question.
sandstone and schist.
You got them
Oh
rock
my God.
questions. We got it, bro.
I didn't know that you're in geology. Holy shit, Scott. That's crazy. Because I just heard. I think you just told me. Yeah, I'm about to graduate college. I was like, oh shit.
Oh, did I not mention what I did?
I don't think you did. No.
Yeah,
That's pretty fucking cool. I didn't know that.
because
Okay.
like I was in geology. This is gonna sound bad, but it's like I thought geology was easy, and that's why I picked it. Because I used to be a computer science major, and that was hard. And so I was like, I'm gonna go be a scientist. And I picked geology because I was like, rocks, how hard can that be? It was fucking hard.
Really?
Yeah. Like I had to do physics and chemistry and then all that. And then I got into research for geophysics or geochemistry. And so now I have a published paper coming out soon. So it's like, fuck, dude.
Wait, really? Dude, that's awesome. I didn't fucking know that.
I know.
Congrats, man.
I have to throw out all my achievements because that's all I got.
Say
Oh.
nerd.
Fucking nerd.
Fucking nerd. Yeah, just playing around with the auction isotopes. What am I supposed to do with that?
You know, it would be really funny because like I would do something similar with my stream team, right? I'm the one that rocks like the green screen.
Mhm.
So every time I'm on like camera with them, I always have something different in the background. Like one time I had like a hippo hanging from a tree. They're like, Ollie, what the fuck is that? I was like, it's a hippo hanging from a tree. Why? Why not?
Why
Like,
not?
okay, anyway, let's just play this. I was like, and everyone like in chat was like, what the fuck does Ollie have in his background? I was like, it's a hippo hanging from the tree. And they're like, okay. And I was like, yeah, like I just say it with the utmost confidence. People are like, they just don't question it.
It's like, all right.
I guess like that's me being like a meme lord and waving like it's a hippo hanging from a tree, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, it's just kind of chill. That's it.
Oh man.
Oh lord. Or
Oh.
like sometimes like whenever it's like Smash Bros night, I have like a picture of like a door with like a tie in it. It's like we're playing Smash Bros, right? Like Smash, you know? And they're like, oh my god.
Oh,
That's like something really stupid. You
bro.
know what I mean?
That's hilarious.
Oh, anyway, I think Joe, you were gonna say something.
Oh no, I don't think
I
I
saw
was.
like, oh, maybe it was Scott then, because like I remember someone was about to say something, and I was like, oh shit.
Well,
right?
now Joe's gotta say something.
Oh,
Oh, okay, I guess.
I was
Okay.
just gonna ask because you both are streamers on Twitch. So have you ever watched somebody and you're hung around until they pretty much closed out their video and everything, and you have
Hmm.
like the end credits and you could still type in chat?
Hmm.
Did you ever just start randomly typing stuff in there because you had nothing else to do? Or is that just
What do you
me?
mean by that?
Oh,
Out of curiosity, yeah.
so
Like what?
one of
Yeah.
my girlfriend's friends, she's a mod for. Um, so like once he'll be done and he won't like raid out or anything, he'll just shut down his stream
Yeah.
on Twitch. Well, if you still stay on there afterwards, you can still type in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Oh,
I
offline chat. Okay.
Offline
yeah,
chat. Got it,
offline chat. I just randomly start saying stuff and
Yeah.
act like I'm just a lonely person, just like, hello, is there anyone there?
Dude.
Okay, that's really funny.
Just talking to the void.
I was gonna
And I
say,
do it for no one else but myself.
dude,
Okay, that's really
I was
funny.
gonna say, like, I have my offline chat open all the time. If you started doing that, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
I'd be laughing. I'd be like, "Oh my lord, that's hilarious." I remember one time, like, one of my viewers like literally made like a Keck W tower in my chat. I'm just like, bro, I didn't even go on. This is like an hour before stream. Like, what are you doing? I died though. I was like, this is amazing.
Oh god,
Uh,
fans are funny.
Great. Oh yeah. So when you have like proper fans, it's always hilarious. Even if it's like 5 people, but there's that one person that'll just fuck with you in chat, and I'm like, oh
Yeah,
my god.
Pluto.
Pluto, yeah. Pluto, same with me. Pluto fucks with me in chat too.
Dude, we've done this a couple times where we'll be in call and then we go fuck with you in call. Like,
As in me?
yeah, you and like some other people. We'll
Oh
just-
god, like you and Pluto?
Yeah, we'll just be like in call. It's like, yo, Ollie's streaming. Let's go fuck with him.
I'll be like, hell yeah. It's mainly just Pluto fucking with me, and it's fucking hilarious in my opinion.
Oh man, yeah, Pluto.
That
Me,
is hilarious.
Pluto does a lot of shit to like random
yeah.
people. She'll just start beef with people in their chats.
She does that to me too. I was like, Pluto, what the fuck? Oh my god. Speaking of her, so Friday Scott, I have another like viewer whose real name is like actually Scott, and he's a streamer too.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I was like, oh hey Scott, how you doing? And whatnot. Like I was like saying hi to him. And all of a sudden, Pluto literally just says a second later, hey, fuck you, Scott. And I'm like, whoa, Pluto, whoa, wrong Scott. She's like, wait, what? And I'm like, Scott's like, yeah, I'm really confused. What's going on? I was like, okay, hold on, let me pause the game. Let me explain this really quick. You know what I mean? So I explained like what was going on.
Wrong
And Blue's
Scott.
like, and she's like, oh my god, I am so sorry. No, like seriously, yeah, wrong Scott, my bad. And like he was dying. He was like, oh my god, that's so funny that there's another Scott in here now. I was like, yep.
I'm a
She's
menace.
like, oh, Scott's here. Fuck you, Scott. I was like, bro. I was like, wait, hold on. And it's kind of funny, Scott, because you and him have the exact same color for chat, so that makes it even funnier. You're both purple. I was like, oh no.
Oh, dude, they can't read it.
Oh lord.
That dark
that's
purple is
so-
really hard to read sometimes.
Yeah, right. Oh, that made me laugh though. That was Friday. She felt so bad.
Damn, serves her right, bro.
I was like, wait, Pluto, wrong Scott. What are you doing?
My gosh.
He was laughing though. He found it funny. He's like, it's okay, don't worry, I get it.
I'll have to like go check him out because you said he was a streamer as well.
Yeah, his thing is Chapuis, so it's SCHAPPUIIS, twitch.tv/Chapuis, I believe is how he pronounces it. He plays like a whole bunch of different games, mainly a JRPG and a graphic novel kind of guy. So yeah,
Okay.
he's really chill. He's really funny. He's also a teacher, funny enough. So,
Holy shit.
a college professor to be specific.
Oh my
so.
god. He's the
Which is
people that we
which
hate.
is even crazier. Oh my!
Yeah.
He would probably agree with you
You
because he'd be like,
talking about?
he would probably agree with you because he's told me some stories like, oh, these fucking professors. I'm like, oh god, what's that? Like, aren't you one's like, I know and I hate it.
Dude, there are some professors that are just like assholes for no reason because they got tenure.
I've got tenure. I can do what I want. I'm like,
It's
it's just kind of funny because I've ran into professors who are just absolutely fucking chill because they have tenure. They don't care. They like teach us like certain things in a certain way, or like make the exam super easy. They're like, you
Yeah.
don't care. They're not going to do anything to me, you know.
Exactly. I mean, they
Do
might
you wish to get to that level one day, either of you?
Oh,
Nah,
hell no.
not really. I think the most I'll do is my master's. I don't know if I would do a PhD.
Oh god, yeah.
I was gonna say I
Masters.
used to box with a professor.
Did you really? Oh my
yeah,
god.
I used to trade with a professor. He was a
That's
journalism
funny.
professor at the U of O.
Oh no. Okay. How did
It
that
was the
go?
dude, he was the nicest guy.
Okay,
He
fair.
was kind of gruff. He was like, whenever we would have to like, we wouldn't spar together, but he would like have to help me like with certain workouts because you need a partner for that. He's like, come on,
Yeah.
one more.
Okay.
Like the most like bland person in the world. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm
funny.
always over there just joking around. I
Yeah.
never took anything seriously.
And he was like, come on, one more, bro. I was like, oh
Yeah.
god, that sounds like me and my best friend. Like I would be joking around and he'd be like, nah, one more. I'm like, fuck you.
One more. Oh my goodness.
I don't know. I was the
Oh,
type
Lord.
of person like we were doing like the tractor tire flips, and I was like just
Oh,
throwing
God.
it with one hand. I was like,
Oh my god.
That's crazy, bro. Whoa, you could do that. I don't know you're that.
Bro's built.
You built like it's all right. Shit, I'm getting there.
I was
there.
gonna say no. I gained so much weight after I stopped doing that.
Oh no. I got back in the gym and I gotten like I'm getting there. You know, my girlfriend loves it. That's all that matters. But you know,
Yeah.
There's
No.
that motivation.
yeah, hell yeah,
Yeah.
The girlfriend.
man.
And I was gonna say
it-
like that's one thing I want to, but I accepted I'm never gonna be a skinny boy.
Aw.
Yeah, but you can be
Oh,
muscular.
You must
dude,
do that?
my natural when I'm skinny is 250 pounds.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Yeah, no,
cra-
like I
Crazy, bro.
used to swim and work out in high school like 3 hours a day. Like I would go to some practice, but also I would do a workout at school.
Okay.
And so I'd do like 2 or 3 workouts. And I was like the swimmer body, like that, but
Yeah.
I was like I was lean, but 200 pounds.
So it's like lead muscle then.
Yeah, lean muscles 200 pounds of me.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
It sucks though. That means
Why?
nothing fits me.
Oh,
Gotta go
like,
to that big and tall store.
Oh yeah,
Right.
like it's one of those things that sucks. I go into oh gosh, what was it? I got fitted for a suit, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't have pants that fit you, and we only have like one shirt that could fit you."
That ass too
and
big.
it was like the ugliest shirt. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it's like
Aw.
I watched this guy like have to give me a bear hug just to chest like to get my chest size. I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry that you have
I
to
was like,
get this close.
I'm sorry that I'm kind of jacked. My bad.
I'm just kind of big.
And he's
I'm
like,
just a big boy.
he was like, damn, like I don't know if we have a shirt like that. So I was like, he
So
was
you
like,
probably have to get them like custom made. Shit.
yeah, no, I am like my chest size is 52 inches around.
Holy fuck.
Holy shit. Yeah, that's a big chest, bro. My chest.
I
is
was
not
gonna
that big.
say, and then my neck is 20 inches.
What the fuck? Damn. Wait, how
Dude's
tall
built
are
like a
you then, out of
tree.
curiosity?
I am
Yeah, I was gonna say.
5'11", 6 foot.
Yo, same. High five. High five.
Nice.
Like actually speaking. Except I'm
It's
definitely
like
not
one
as
of those
jacked.
things too, and like yeah, like I kind of already accepted, like ever since I was in high school, like I'm never gonna be like that skinny kid, that skinny kid that I always wanted to be.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna be like the naturally jacked kid, and I'm like, fucking sucks.
Oh man, I was like, I'd love to be the jacked guy.
Oh gosh, it's always greener on the other side, kind
Oh,
of
for real,
situation.
damn. Shit, I'm trying to get more jacked. Fuck. I was like, damn. And here you are having the good genes just to have all that muscle. Damn, I'm jealous.
Oh yeah,
Just gifted.
Just built different, quite literally.
Quite
the worst.
literally.
I was gonna say the worst part about it too is like right now I let myself go, but the
Okay.
moment you let yourself go, like nothing will fit you because you're already big, and then
Say. You're gonna get even bigger.
I
pretty
feel-
much.
Oh
I feel that.
God. Oh God, yeah, I can only imagine. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, but that's
Lord.
one thing. Like I think I really need to get on myself about working out and stuff like that. But you know what? To each their own.
I don't worry. I also need to get on myself to lose some weight.
Honestly, it's just for me. It's just like I know that if I keep going, like if I start it, I can keep going if I like enjoy it. And ever
Mhm.
since then, ever since April, I've just been working out 3 times a week consistently.
You're
I
more-
remember the funniest thing that Scott said to me when I got home and I was watching a stream. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I've been lifting. He's like, Jesus Christ, you've been lifting for the past hour. Did you lift the whole gym, Ollie? Or like 3 hours? I was like, no, I just got home, is what I mean. It's like, damn, I wish I could lift the whole gym.
Lift
Fuck.
the whole gym.
I remember you said that. I died. I was like, okay, that was funny.
You know, naturally funny.
No, I would actually I love watching Scott's streams while in the gym. Because
Yeah,
it's
it's
one of
pretty
those
chill,
things.
right?
What the
It's
fuck?
dude, I love watching you like while like working out because it's like a very chill, especially when Pluto's like kind of
Angry.
getting on your nerves and you're just
You and Pluto are just God. That dynamic is funny.
Hey
I
man,
know it's amazing.
our
This girl
plan.
literally said, "Fuck you, Scott. Eat a dick. I'm I'm dead."
It's so funny because our plan for the future is she's gonna marry some rich guy and I'm just gonna live there.
You're just gonna live there. Do you pay rent?
Maybe, I don't know. We haven't got that far.
Maybe?
I remember the first time you were explaining Pluto. You're like, yeah, like I have this person, this person, this person in my stream, and then there's Pluto. I don't know who this person is.
You straight up said, and then there's Pluto.
then
I mean,
there's-
that's like literally the best. That's literally the best way to put it. Even me, I'm like, then there's Pluto.
She's a
I don't know how to
being.
describe her.
She's just a
She's
being.
funny though.
I
She's
just remember
yeah.
like, yeah, Pluto just showed up one time at like out of a stream and just consistently watched. And I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Like, do you
And
know who
then-
this person is? No.
I met Pluto through Taiju or Thomas. You know him, right, Scott?
Yup, he was our last
Oh.
guest, I think.
Hmm.
Really? Ty was on here. Shit.
Yeah.
Ty's funny, man. He's a funny guy.
I like him.
Oh God, like it's kind of funny because he and I met through actually like we used to chill in this streamer's stream, right? And that's how he and I met, and then we just became closer because of it. And like I remember one time I was playing a game with him and that same streamer, right?
Mhm.
And like how it all happened was literally like he and I were on a team together for the game. I was like, all right, what are we gonna call ourselves? So he's just like, yo, the Brokeback Rice Fields. I'm like, yo, I love that. I was like, we're doing it. And ever since then, he and I have just been hitting it off. Like, I think you were there for when we collabed, Scott. It was like the Brokeback Rice Fields
Yeah,
brother.
I was there for a
need
little bit.
That was funny when we played. We were here. That was hilarious.
Yeah, your guys' dynamic is amazing.
It was just like because like he and I were just messing around and like we made that stream work because for some reason Discord decided to shit the bed literally like last minute. Even though like before we were like testing out like if everything was working and like Discord wasn't working for some reason. And like we're like, yo, it was working like 30 minutes ago, and I'm like, now voice chat no longer works. So we had to use like the voice chat in the game where you had to hold down F or something just to
Oh
talk.
no.
That was the worst. But we made it work, and that was amazing, honestly speaking.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was like, but yeah, I was like, I don't know about him, but I don't really like hang around that streamer anymore. But you know, that's how he and I met.
I mean, fair enough. I meet a
Yeah.
lot of my people through Pluto somehow.
So Pluto's the true extrovert.
she literally just like, hey, have you talked to this guy? I'm like, no.
Literally, how Pluto introduced me, it told me about you. Was like, yo, my friend wants to get into voice acting. Don't worry, he's not an asshole and he's not a pervert. Go talk to him. Here's his Twitch handle. I'm
That's
like,
how she described me.
yeah, and I'm like, okay. So I hit up Scott, and then that was it. I was like, hey, I'm Pluto's friend. You wanted to get into voice acting? That was like,
Yes, sir. Oh my gosh.
great. It's just the way Pluto's like, yeah, he's not a pervert or an asshole. Go talk to him. I'm like,
I
and that was
mean,
the very first time Pluto messaged me about something. I was like, oh, okay.
that's
I was like,
whoa. She's taking the initiative.
it was just so funny though, because I'm like, the way she puts things just makes me laugh.
Dude, it's
Pluto's hilarious, man.
I'll get hit with like a message almost daily saying "Get up, ho."
Oh, just straight up.
Yeah.
What time?
Just randomly, like it could be like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and she'll like get up, and I'll just be like, nope, and that's it.
And it should be like, eat a dick. That's
Yeah,
it.
basically.
I'm still dead at the message, but fuck you, Scott, and eat a dick.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my
I
god.
wonder if she's still listening to this right now.
Oh, I don't know, dude. She comes and
I-
goes, and then says, "I'm back, ho."
Yeah, right. Or she's like, "Fuck, I'm awake."
Yeah.
Or has she ever said that to you? Yeah.
Yeah.
said that.
She's like, "I'm awake."
Oh fuck, I'm back. What did I miss? You know.
My
I was like,
favorite
Pluto,
thing that I've ever heard is Scott will like explain like, yeah, me and Joe need to do, and Pluto would like, who's Joe? For the long
Straight up?
Yeah. This would be like after her 6th like episode of this.
Yeah.
Who's Joe?
Who's
I'm like,
Joe?
Okay, she's definitely trolling at that point. I think.
Trolling her own self, bro.
I can't tell if she's like trolling or she just like, genuinely doesn't
I-
know. Like,
I think
Pluto.
because the podcast doesn't happen often that she genuinely just doesn't remember.
doesn't remember. I'm like, Joe. It's funny seeing you and her go at it in my chat. That makes me laugh. I'm like, oh my god, you two.
I love being an asshole.
To Pluto? Oh yeah.
To anyone, really. It's just kind of funny.
Time like you and I went at her while you were streaming, and she's like, "Fuck you, Ollie. Go eat a fucking dick. I hate you." I'm like, I forgot what I said, but I got her really good. And you're like dying.
Oh my
She was
god.
so mad at me. She was so mad at me.
It's so
Oh,
funny.
Lord.
I
I
will
need to make Pluto a mod in my stream. Yeah, that's gonna be funny.
she just bans people
Fair enough.
for like
Fair enough, in my opinion.
I made her a mod because I don't like banning people, and so I'm like, Pluto, get their ass.
Oh yeah, I'm
And
sure
she'll
no
do it for me. 'Cause
problem. I feel like Pluto's there enough at my stream for me to justify it. So
yeah, I feel bad banning people even if they are dicks to me, because I'll kind of just like I don't really give a shit attitude about a lot of things, and so it's like, oh, if you're being mean to me, it's like I don't really care, but it's also like it's kind of ruined the vibe right now.
yeah, for me, that's why I ban people. It's like, look, I don't give a shit, but you're ruining the vibe. So bye.
Yeah.
That's me.
Oh.
That's why I mainly do it, because I'm like, yep. Otherwise, they'll just keep coming back and doing the same shit. I'm like, okay, right,
Yeah.
So
And I stuck up with a viewer for a while that was just doing a lot of like shit like that.
shit.
It's like, bro, I you have to be gone now.
I was like, yeah, I can only imagine.
According to Pluto, she tore that kid like a new asshole, dude.
Oh, no, I could definitely see her doing that.
Like
feel
in
like
in
Pluto's
DMs, not
right
even
with
in
that.
chat.
Oh, okay.
She
that's
went
how you know it's
after
serious.
him.
That's how you know it's serious.
Yeah.
I need a mod like Pluto.
she's a good one.
Oh, I was like, Pluto. I actually might make Pluto mod. She's there enough. Because literally all my mods, like, they're either streaming when I stream, so I don't really have mods there half the time.
That's
So I was
fair.
like, and Pluto's always there, so I was like, you know what, Pluto?
It's really funny
You're
because
here
it's like
enough.
Pluto is the mod that I see the most, but like I have like 4 other mods. They just lurk or aren't here.
Yeah, pretty much, right? For me, it's more like they either stream when I stream, or they lurk and they lurk and just like do their own thing, and I'm cool with that. That's fine,
Yeah.
right? So
Like I don't mind it. Usually I make people that are mods either people I know in real life or people I trust.
yeah,
And then
exactly, right? You can't just make anyone a
and then
mod.
like VIPs is podcasters and other streamers. Like that's what I
Yeah,
do.
fucking pink diamond up in this bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pink diamonds. I love seeing the pink diamond, bro.
Pink diamond, it's so cool. I don't know what it is. I like it better than like I don't know. It looks cooler than the sword to me. Is that just me?
No, I agree. I like the pink diamond more than the sword.
Right? Ah, it makes me feel fucking special.
Because it's like you don't have to do anything special. You just get to be special.
You're just there. You're just there, and then you make fun of Pluto, which is even better.
Exactly. Which is what this podcast has turned into, is making fun of Pluto.
Just a whole episode of roasting Pluto. Like, fuck you guys. She gets so mad.
That's
Worst
what.
part is I just figured out what the pink diamond. I didn't know you can hover over it, so I was like, "Oh,
Oh,
I have a
yeah,
pink
oh.
diamond."
Oh my god! Wait, you never. Wait, you not.
I never hovered over my name.
That's funny.
I feel so
my
much
God.
better about myself now too.
Oh my god, Joe! What the fuck?
Pink diamond.
Yeah.
Okay, that's funny. That's funny.
Ugh,
Oh,
This is why he's the
Lord.
extrovert.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Oh
know.
my god, that's funny. Joe is fucking funny. Like we need more viewers like Joe.
Oh my
Honestly
God.
speaking.
Joe's the
Dude,
best.
sometimes I just like show up and be like, Scott, what are you doing?
Dude,
like, just
you'll show up and give me like the most demeaning shit. It's like, man, I don't know what to do, and you're like, just do it then. It's like, oh,
Right.
fuck, well, okay, fuck.
there was one
Yeah.
time I remember in stream, you're like, what should my character be wearing? I'm like, no clothes,
No
just
clue.
naked.
Aw, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No clothes. That's it.
Just-
Just no clothes.
Time to be naked.
No clothes.
context. No context. Just no clothes, no context.
Yeah.
That's it.
Take off your
Whoever-
pants now.
Oh my god. Take off your pants now. God.
No,
damn, that's-
no. The funniest stuff too is like Scott will like, hey, what should I do? I'm like, what do you think you should be doing? I don't- and he's like, he'll have this whole plan to tell. I'm like, then do that.
fucking just do it.
Just
you know?
do
Don't
it.
Let your memes be memes.
Just
you
be
know?
like Nike and just do it. Okay, watch.
Be
We're
like
demonetized.
Sheila
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, it was
guys,
so-
we need to shut it down. We need to shut
Not
it
not
down.
sponsored.
yeah,
Sorry.
That's it.
Could bro imagine a Nike sponsor though?
I'd be like, hey, you talked about us. You want a sponsorship? I'd be like, fuck, where
Dude,
do I sign?
If only sponsorships worked like that.
Oh, imagine. God. The amount of
What?
times that the amount of times I talk about Hoyoverse, yeah.
Oh my
Great,
god.
you know?
Dude, I talk about so many gacha games and I don't play any on my stream.
I know, right? It's like, oh, you want a sponsor for Wuthering Waves? I'd be like, sure.
I would
What
love
do gotta
that.
Do? You know?
Pro games save us
Right, pretty much.
from being broke.
Seriously. I still haven't tried out like the new one, Zenless Zone Zero, but I've heard good things about it.
Dude, Zenless Zone Zero is weird because it's like it looks great and it feels great, but it's like it's a weird thing. I don't have a lot of desire to play it.
Yeah, for me, it's more just like I already play Genshin and Star Rail. I don't really
Yeah.
want to play any other game, any other gotchas.
I have to log
I
into
can
so
only really
many.
commit to two. You know, I can only really commit to two. That's it.
Like I finally uninstalled Fate Grand Order after like playing it for 4 years.
Damn.
I was like, it's time to go.
Time to go. I'm sorry, Fate.
I love the series, but damn, I can't do the mobile game anymore.
That's fair. Anywho, man.
Ugh.
I'm gonna go on ahead and call it here because a friend of mine's
Yeah.
gonna get home soon. But dude, guys, Joe and Scott, thank you so much for having me on here, dude.
Yeah,
This is
of
a lot
course.
fun. I haven't been
Yeah.
on a podcast in a hot minute, and I'm like, yeah, let's fucking do it.
We will definitely have to get you back another day. Since this is
Yeah.
pretty much the end, I was kind of feeling it as well. Thank you for joining us, and where can we find you?
You guys can find me on twitch.tv/blowfishmantv. Here 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But I won't be back for a bit because I'm gonna go see my girlfriend all the way in Connecticut for a bit. I think I'll be back by the latest 29th, as in like back streaming, right? Because I might just take like the rest of that week off just for me, and then like just check
Okay.
out other people's streams, right? So yeah, find me over there if you like JRPGs, if you like Yakuza, if you like sussy games like dating sims. Feel free to hit me up. Oh yeah, and like pretty good voice acting. But yeah, other than that, thank you so much for having me, both of you.
Of course.